Yes, very good afternoon. Today we will be doing Indian art. Okay, one of the most important area for our examination, right? So you are given booklets, right? You're already given a mapping book from our side, and current affairs content. There are few articles that are there. We'll be looking into them, and mostly it is static mapping, which we shall be doing with respect to revision, and lot of recalling will be there. So please try to learn within the class itself, whether it is national parks, whether it is wildlife sanctuaries, rivers, mountains, plains, plateaus, topography, east-west extent, north-south extents, rivers, tributaries, physiographic regions. Questions can come in any way, all the directions. Let's say whatever the mapping that we have learned in the last 5 days, 4 days is on one side, and the mapping that we do on today is on one side. So it is more of the factual content. It is about you recalling. So those students who are there in the mapping sessions or in the my environment lectures, and so I think you're very good with national parks, right? The vegetation, the species, likewise where you get what kind of animals. So these are some areas where UPSC is focusing on, and you would be very comfortable in that. So it is an interdisciplinary knowledge that you are supposed to gain. We'll do it in an interdisciplinary manner only. Hard work should be there from your side and my side also. I'll make you mug up few aspects. So wherever you get an opportunity to mug up, please mug it up without any hesitation, right? Whether it is the hills in the northeast or the Himalayas, rivers, tributaries, you have to mug it up. But how comfortable are you with the physiographic regions? That matters a lot. If you are clear with the physiographic regions, rest everything will fall in its place. At least the flow of the rivers, the way they move, the direction, the tributaries, minerals, mines, somewhere or the other, everything can be interlinked. So today we'll try to learn all of this in detail. So a booklet is given. In that booklet, not this, that one. What are the maps that I use? A small change might be there in terms of this is the booklet. Okay. In that you have rivers, tributaries, and there also where a project is set up. This is the river booklet that most of you have received. If you haven't received, you can pick it up offline in the institute. Apart from that, what are the west flowing rivers? What are the east flowing rivers? So this is one single stop for your drainage system. But there is one aspect which is not there in this booklet, that is the patterns of the drainage. If you understand the patterns of the drainage, it will be easy for you in terms of understanding the knowledge, why the river is in this direction, what kind of materials it can carry, and so on. So let us quickly move and try to understand all of this in detail. So first, let me tell you what are we going to learn. We are going to learn about the topography. We'll learn about the complete topography of India, including its physiographic regions. In a very quick manner, I'll be dealing with that. So most of you, I think, are comfortable in those areas of what are the physiographic regions, where does northern plains, okay, eastern plains, western coastal plains, Andaman Nicobar Islands, Kathiawar Plateau, likewise Kutch, Malwa region, Central Highlands, Satpuras, Vindhyas, Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla, Mikir, Garo, Kasi, Jaintia. You might have heard it somewhere or the other point of time in your PCM classes. So we'll be witnessing it in today in detail, and also the rivers. You can also look into your handout whenever I show a map on the screen so that we can revise it in a quick manner, right? So we'll start with the physiography. First physiography, I'll spend some 15-20 minutes, and then we'll go towards our atlas. There we'll look into in little more detail. So let me open the handout that is given to you as well. And we'll also do some national park revision. So first, physiographic regions. Before that, see, when it comes to India, you all know that India was once part of the Gondwana land, okay, which is nothing but Africa, South America, Antarctica, Australia, Madagascar. So see here, Madagascar was one of our left-wing agent at one point of time. It got broken, and then India started its journey. While India started its journey, it came under certain hotspots. Okay? So this is the first hotspot. Once it came under this hotspot, the first area of interaction with the continentality of India was Rajmahal Hills. So this is where the Rajmahal Hills formation started. So just a minute. Listen the story one nicely. रट लेंगे, बहुत सारा रट लेंगे आज क्लास में, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, ठीक है? When India came under this hotspot, imagine this is India. When it came under the hotspot, this hotspot started to puncture the continent, right? And then the lava flew out. The first interaction of lava is nothing but the hills that are formed. We call this as Rajmahal Hills, or it is also called as Rajmahal traps, right? It is called as a trap. Now, this is the first hotspot. Little later, when India was moving at a rate of 20 centimeters per year, again the hotspot was present. And this hotspot today, at that point of time, erupted near Gujarat, and the flow of this hotspot has led to the formation of Deccan Plateau. Right? This is your Deccan Plateau. And we call this as Deccan traps. The next aspect, as India went further, India went little more further, and before it formed Himalayas. So here, the journey of India has led to the formations of certain islands as well. And these islands are none other than, imagine that there's water. Within the water, the volcanism was there. And this volcanism did not come above the water. It got cooled within the water, and that turned out to be your Lakshadweep Islands. Lakshadweep Islands are like this. Imagine this is the sea level, and this is the bottom of the sea. The volcanic eruptions, flood basaltic provinces has led to the formations of these islands underwater. And finally, these islands, if you look into, they are hardly 100 meters above sea level is there, just 100 meters roughly to the sea level, right? So this is where the corals started to come out, and these corals slowly grew, right, around this, and which has further led to atoll formation, right? So atolls are nothing but, if this is your water and then this is your mountain, atolls will grow around, okay, they grow in this manner. Above the surface, they seem to be in a circular. This is how atolls are there. So majority of the reefs there in Lakshadweep, they are atolls. But in Andaman Nicobar, they are not atolls, right? What are they? First one is atolls. Second one is barrier reef, which you have seen in Australia, right? Three different types. In Lakshadweep, you will find atolls. The major source of the formation of these mountains or these plateaus are nothing but hotspot. That hotspot in the previous time period was seen at Reunion Islands, right? I've shown you Reunion. I asked you to arrange the islands from north to south: Maldives, Reunion, next Madagascar, Seychelles, right? So Reunion Islands, which the French Reunions, these are the areas where the hotspot is active. And this is how you get to see the Deccan Plateau formation and the Rajmahal Hills, and then Lakshadweep Islands, which did not come above the sea, right? So at that point of time, the speed of India was somewhere very high. And we call this also as a trap and this also as a trap. Rajmahal Hills and these both are traps. So when it comes to traps, you need to know the physiography as well. So look into your atlas. You open your atlas in the physical map of India, you will find one thing, that it is written as Rajmahal traps next to the Chota Nagpur and West Bengal. So can you please go to your atlas or any atlas which you follow? What you do is open up the West Bengal map. Near to the West Bengal, Raj Mahal traps. Okay, Raj Mahal hills. See here. This is your Raj Mahal hills. So this is your West Bengal. Okay, and these are Raj Mahal hills. That means your Raj Mahal hills are also formed because of the hotspot, right? Okay, Deccan Plateau. First, understand the physiographic regions, then one by one we'll try to look in detail. So there, if you have in your atlas, well and good. If you don't have in your atlas, just have a look onto the screen. So the physiographic regions of India. So India has multiple physiographic regions, which are broadly divided into Himalayas, northern plains, deserts, eastern coastal plains, western coastal plains, western Ghats, eastern Ghats, right, and islands. These are the major physiographic divisions, which you might have read in your NCERT also. But UPSC will not go there. Rather, it will go into little more detail and ask you questions. So look, in the north you have Himalayas, right? We'll classify the Himalayas in detail. But come, this is your northern plains. These are Himalayas: Karakoram, Ladakh, Zanskar, Greater Himalayas. Then Pir Panjal, Doladar, Nag Tibba, then Shivaliks. Karakoram, Ladakh, Zanskar, Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks. Lesser Himalayas का नाम है Pir Panjals, Doladars. Pir Panjals in Kashmir, Doladars in Himachal and Nag Tibba ranges in the Uttarakhand region. So these are the three lesser Himalayas, right? So once you learn about these Himalayas, what do? Is we go into the northern plains. I'll tell you how they are formed also, not to be worried. So these are your northern plains. Northern plains can broadly be divided into, in Bihar, we call them as Bihar plains. In Uttar Pradesh is divided into, if this is Uttar Pradesh, it is divided into three kinds of plains. One, the eastern side is called as Awadh. The eastern side is called as Awadh, and the western side you divide into two. Topmost you will call Rohilkhand, and in the south it is Ganga, Yamuna, Doab. Doab is nothing but Doab, or Doab is nothing but where the area between two rivers, we call it as Doab, right? So the area between Ravi and Bias, the area between Ravi and Bias is called as a Doab. So if this is river Ravi and this is river Bias, this region is called as Doab. And there are certain names given to that. Bari, Bias and Ravi. Bari, Doab. Bist, Bias and Sutlej. Bari Doab, Bist Doab, Sutlej Doab. Whenever you heard the word Doab, if the name is given, make sure it's a combination of two rivers, right? So this is your northern plains. Northern plains, in the west you have Punjab, right? And then you have this is Uttar Pradesh is divided into three. The eastern part of Uttar Pradesh is Awadh, and the west, if you divide into two, topmost is Rohilkhand and the southern is called as Ganga, Yamuna, Doab region. You come to Bihar. Bihar also you divide into two, North Bihar, South Bihar, right? You come to Bengal basins, and in Assam also, majority of the Assam is a plain area. It's not a hilly area. Majority of the Assam is a plain area. So this is how northern plains are there. Now come to central highlands. Central highlands are these. You just have a look. Watch it clearly. Central highlands. So here you have Aravalis, right? And here you have Vindhyas. And then Satpuras. The river which flows between Vindhyas and Satpuras is Narmada, right? This is your Narmada river. It flows in Rift Valley. And from here, Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada, Tapi, right? So these are Samanta rivers. Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada, Tapi. Right? Samanta. So it is easy to remember for you to understand from north to south. These are the major rivers: Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada, Tapi. Mahi, Narmada, and Tapi, all three flows in rift valleys. Remember this. All the three flows in rift valleys. Right? So Vindhyas are called as escarpments. Remember, Vindhyan mountains are escarpments. Now, what is an escarpment? An escarpment is something which has steep side on one side, and the other side it is very gentle mountain. So if you look, this is the base. This is the base. On one side, it is a steep mountain. Let's say that if you're standing here, this is steeper side and this is a gentler side. So these are called as escarpments, and whose height is not as great as the mountain. Right? So Vindhyan escarpments. Vindhyan escarpments. Now, can I say that Vindhyas, if this is Vindhyas, and this is Satpuras, don't you think on one side it is going to be extremely steep? Yes? So which is the steeper side? This steeper side is the area in which Narmada is there. So the steeper side of is there here. So that's why it seems like when the river is there, it is present in the Rift Valley. Right? So come to the Central Highlands. It is between Aravalli and here Vindhyas. So here these are your northern plains. This is called as Central Highlands. Now these highlands, see, there is a part of Rajasthan. There is a part of Madhya Pradesh. Now there are multiple plateaus present here, right? Multiple plateaus. Look, the easternmost side, we have Vindhyan scarplands. So what are scarplands? These are lands where the land topography is very poor, very bad. This is also called as badland topography. Chambal ravines we call. This is the, if you have seen a movie called Vikramarkadu, right? The climax scenes and all, if you can dissemble, this is called as the scraplands, which is called as a Vindhyan scraplands. Badland topography. Or else in Hindi, if you have seen a movie, Pan Singh Tomar. Pan Singh Tomar, it's a very famous movie. Even that movie is also completely based on this part of the area. So it is badland topography, the soil is not fertile, erosion and gully erosion will be there. Now come Bundelkhand region. See, this Bundelkhand region, recently the government of India has focused on linking two major rivers. Can you see this river and this? See, this is Ken and this is Betwa. They wanted to, Ken has a lot of river. Ken has a lot of river and it's one of the tributary of Yamuna. So this is Yamuna river. If Ken has a lot of water, if we can divert this water and link it to Betwa, and from Betwa, if we can give water to this part of area, wouldn't it be wonderful? Yes. So this was declared as a national project. 40,000 crores have been issued to this, and there used to be a tiger reserve within that. Here there was a national park and a tiger reserve. What is the name? Panna. So this is your Panna Tiger Reserve. Out of this Panna, if you see, roughly 11,500 square kilometers of area. Out of this, 6,500 square kilometers of area is submerged. Now, tiger is a territorial animal, right? If it demarcates its territory, it will stay there. Now, if that area got submerged, don't you think tigers have to find a new way, new place? So these tigers were forced to move away from this area by the submergence of the Panna National Park and the Tiger Reserve. So an alternative place has been set up here. North, this is Veeranganada Durgavati. There is a corridor built also so that tigers can easily move from this area, right? So here two things. Bundelkhand is an upland, it's a plateau, and this plateau is a dry land. The extensions of this Uttar Pradesh, can you see this Uttar Pradesh extending into this area? So this is the Bundelkhand, and here poverty is rampant. Population is rampant, poverty is rampant. So that's why the government of India wants to work here, and the project is almost complete. Ken Betwa interlinking of river Panna Tigers, because of that, a new reserve is been set up, Viranganatha Durgavati. Tiger Reserve, it is not a national park. It is not newly notified, already the existing one has been re-notified. So to be declared as a tiger reserve. Now let me ask you, who declares a tiger reserve? A state government or central government? Can a state declare a tiger reserve? State, with the permissions of the chief wildlife warden, it can declare an area, but at the end, it has to be given approval from National Board for Wildlife. Now, who is the chairperson for National Board for Wildlife? Prime Minister, right? Your PM. Your PM is the one, at the end, they'll take the decision whether to set up or not to set up, right? Forest is a concurrent subject. State ka kuch nahi hai. At the end, whatever the center decides, center will do it, right? Always the superseding powers are with the center. Whether it is national park, whether it is tiger reserve, whether it is, except for biosphere reserve. Biosphere reserve is exclusively not mentioned in the Wildlife Protection Act, right? It is a concept which is derived over a period of time, but exclusive mentions were not there. There are 5 protected areas under which the Wildlife Protection Act talks about. What are they? National parks, wildlife sanctuaries, community reserves, conservation reserves, and tiger reserves. These are the 5: national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, community reserves, conservation reserves, and tiger reserves. So these are the 5 protected areas which are exclusively discussed in the Wildlife Protection Area Act of 1972. There is no mention of the biosphere reserves. This concept came little later, right? So here, any alterations, any changes in the boundaries are always done by National Board for Wildlife. It is the final approving authority, right? Now come back. So Bundelkhand, you can remember, right? Next, Vindhyan scraplands are badland topography. Look here. This is your Aravalli region. Now, north of Aravalli, your desert is divided into 2 areas. One is called as Marustali, which is completely dry. And the other is called as the Rajasthan Bagar, right? So here, the possibility of, you won't find the deserts to be sandy deserts also. Desert means, don't think that you'll always see sand dunes. Desert can be an area which is a rainfall of less than 25 centimeters and the rate of evaporation is more than the rate of precipitation. That is a desert. So here, Rajasthan Bagar, occasional rainfalls can be there, right? So this part of area where the Luni also travels, Luni River, I'll show you a little later. Now this is your Aravallis. So when the monsoon comes, see here, you know that the monsoon of India, which comes from the southern side, it is very interesting to see. It has one wing which is going into the east and there is another wing which comes and it enters through the passes here. So these are your Western Ghats. So these passes are very, very important for us. In this, there is a small gap. Here, this is your Aravalli. The entry of this monsoon winds happen through this route. I'll talk about the passes. The passes is anyways given in your handout. Look here. If this is your Aravallis, from here, the winds enter and the winds cannot cross onto the other side of the Aravallis. So that's the reason why a decent amount of rainfall can be seen on the eastern side here. And this is also the same area where the Chambal River goes like this. Chambal River is famous for gharials. Gharial is it's not an alligator. Gharial is a freshwater species and it is living in Chambal. Not only Chambal, Sindh, Betwa and Can. In the central part of India, you will see the gharials are there. Gharial is a critically endangered species, right? Got it? Tributaries and all will look little later. So here, if this is your Rajasthan, imagine this is your Rajasthan. Can you call this as eastern part of Rajasthan? This is western part of Rajasthan. Western part of Rajasthan is Marustali and the central part of Rajasthan from north to south, it is north. It is Rajasthani, Bagar, and then you have Eastern Rajasthan. This Eastern Rajasthan is an upland. It's a plateau, right? So just imagine, ye bhi plateau hai. Yaar, ye bhi plateau hai. This is also a plateau. And this is also a plateau. Collection of these plateaus we'll call as a Central plateau. The interesting aspect of the central plateau is it slopes to the north and it slopes to the northeast. This is north, this is south, this is west, this is east. And here you have these tall mountains, Aravalis, which are broad, which are fan-folding mountains. These are located like this. So any river which is found in these mountains, will it travel towards the north or will it come towards the south? North. That means the slope is towards the north and the northeast. So that's why rivers like Chambal, Betwa, Sindh, Chambal, Sindh, Betwa and Ken, they slope to the north. And from here, you see the river Yamuna coming in. So they go and join Yamuna. Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken. Can you recall? Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken are the tributaries of river Yamuna. Right? So, species that are found here are basically a critically endangered species, that is gharial. Right? Come. Eastern Rajasthan uplands, then you have central Indian plateau, central highlands we call it. Vindhyan scraplands, rainfall is very scarce here. Bundelkhand, Ken Betwa interlinkage, and then comes your Malwa. Malwa is literally in the Madhya Pradesh, right? So you go little east, see even this part of the area also, it is full of plateau. This is your Chota Nagpur plateau. This is your Baghelkhand plateau. Chota Nagpur plateau. Aank band karke, any mineral except for diamond, if it is given, you close your eyes and mark it right. Right? All the minerals in India, majorly industrial minerals, are present in this Chota Nagpur plateau, except for diamonds. Diamonds एक जगह मिलता है, कहाँ पे? Guntur, in the Godavari basin. ठीक है? कर्नाटका में gold मिलता है. ठीक है? Gold is present in Karnataka, and of course a section of it, a very small minimal, but gold is majorly present in the Godavari belts and so. Right? Come back. Now come to western side. See, this is called as Kutch and Kathiawar. So take Gujarat. Gujarat is divided into eastern side is Gujarat plains and northern part is your Kutch. Southern part is your Kathiawar. So there was a separate state demand. If you remember, 3 states were demanding separate states. One is Telangana, other one is Kathiawar, right? Which is Saurashtra. What is Saurashtra? A part of common cultures. This is your Saurashtra, right? And then Vidarbha. This was the demand. So look here, this Kathiawar cultures and Kutch cultures are completely different. Kutch is a salt pan area. Kutch is a salt pan area. And here you get salt, right? Capillary action is very prominent here. The rate of evaporation is more than the rate of precipitation. And this part of area was once covered with the desert. That's the reason why you find oil. Not just this, there was a concept which we call it as marine transgression and marine regression. Marine transgression means for a majority of time period, this part of India was covered with water. The black color dots, wherever you're getting to see this part of India, for majority of roughly 2 million years, water entered into this area, right? Sea water was there, and sea water receded after 2 million years. Why and all, if time permits, at the end I'll tell you what exactly. See, as sea water receded back, today oil can only be found, I already told you, oil can only be found on continental shelf or within the sea. But you go to Rajasthan, do you find oil? Jamnagar is present in Gujarat. Rajasthan oil fields, Assam, Digboy oil fields. You go to Bombay, Trombay High, Reliance. All of them, why are they present on the continent? Why are they present on the continent? It's because this part of area was submerged for under the ocean for roughly 1 to 2 million years, and later the water receded back. Why this receding back and the entry of water took place? Why? Because see here, apply some common sense to the video which I am going to show you again here. Please see, there is a concept called marine transgression and marine regression. In simple terms, see, India is moving towards north, right? And this is the total volume of the ocean. That is, see, let's call this. Now in this, imagine that this is a bowl of water. Imagine this is a bowl of water, right? And your India is floating like this, right? Imagine this is the water. And this is the landmass of India, which is covered with. Agreed? So here, please try to understand. What if I put a crow and ask this crow to put some stones? What happens to the water? Water will rise. Now imagine to this ocean, if I am adding more and more stones at the bottom of the ocean, will the sea level rise? Yes. So have you heard of middle oceanic ridges? Yes, sir. Yes. So look here, when India started to move, there are middle oceanic ridges that are developed here. Middle oceanic ridges are nothing but mountains, right? It is same like if this is India and this is water, if I'm adding stones or if I'm adding mountains to this, what happens to the water? So like this, water entered into this part of India, right? And then India went. So India went and collided with Eurasian plate. But a part of India went underneath and settled. Don't you think the size of India got shrunk? That means the water can recede back. Agreed? So if water enters onto the coastal area, we call this as marine transgression. If water receded back from the coastal areas, that is marine regression. So this marine transgression and marine regression was primarily there on the Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh also, eastern side West Bengal also, Assam also, and then Gujarat. So the stories of Dwarka you might have heard, right? Dwarka got submerged. And that is the reason why we call this part of India as a submergent coastal area. We call that as a submerged coastal line. So this is submergent coast and this is emergent, and the entire east is emergent. So here this marine regression, you got to see the water entered into these areas, all these areas. So that's why in these areas you have so much of oil present, right? Examples: Jamnagar in Gujarat, Digboy in Assam, Rajasthan, Bagar regions, and then Bombay, Trombay, Mangaluru, Bengaluru, western part of Bengaluru, if you see Bengaluru Bills. And so you will find all of these areas here. So oil can only be found on the continental shelf or on the land where the water was once present, right? Come back. So Gujarat, you're clear. And in the Kutch Peninsula, which animals are present? Kharai, camels, and wildlass. So here you have wildlass sanctuary and Kharai camel, right? Kharai camels, can they swim? Yes, they can swim, right? They can swim for long distances, right? Hours together they can swim. Okay. Now come to the Vindhyas and Satpuras. So if you look from the cross-sectional view, okay, if you see the Vindhyas, your Vindhyas are like this, and your Satpuras are like this. So this is Vindhyan blocks and Satpura block mountains. And in between, you will see a river flowing, and this river we call it as, your river is flowing out of the board, right? So this is Vindhyas and this is Satpuras. Both are block mountains, and Vindhyas will call it as escarpments. Why? It is gentle on one side and it is steep. It is steep on the other side, right? So any river water which is entering, will they come with so much of speed? Yes, right? Who are older, Vindhyas older or Satpuras? Which is the oldest mountain in India? Aravallis. Uske baad, I'll give you options. Himalayas, Vindhyas, Satpuras, Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats, Aravallis. Tell me in the order. Who are older? Okay, sabko pata hai Aravalli. Uske baad? Western Ghats, minus 2.66. Next. Minus 2.66. Satpuras. Okay, first is Aravallis, then is Satpura, then अरे हिमालय सबसे छोटा नन्ना मुन्ना बच्चा है, कल ही पैदा हुआ, ठीक है? In terms of geology, if you take into account, Himalayas are just born yesterday, right? The age of Himalayas is hardly few million years, 150, maximum 70 to 150 range mein hai, right? But the oldest mountains are roughly, let's say, if a 70-year person is Himalayas, then 2,200-year-old person would be your Aravallis, right? Same way, 1,800-year-old person would be your Satpuras. Then comes your Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats, right? Vindhyas aaya baad mein, right? So here in this order, you need to know, number 1 would be Aravallis. Number 2, Satpuras. Then comes Eastern Ghats. 4th is Western Ghats. And then 5 is Vindhyas. And the last is 6, Himalayas. Himalayas are sabse youngest. Right? Clear? So to understand this, again, let me take you back. See, this knowledge, whatever I'm giving you, you will not get anywhere in terms of books. And so it is a collection of, let's say you read the entire book, then you watch 2 episodes of entire Bahubali, and then you get to know that why Katappa killed Bahubali. So that is a kind of subject this is. You read the entire geography, then you will get to know, acha, ye aisa bana hai kya. So please try to understand. See, this is your India. To understand India in total, there are some original land masses which are always there. Now I am teaching you this with respect to the perspective of elimination technique for the mines and minerals also. See, your India is a collection of cratons and platforms. Firstly, what is a craton? What is a platform? Let's try to understand this. Cratons and platforms are those areas for the first time, kahin na kahin, volcano has turned out to be a landmass, right? And that original landmass would be your craton or either a platform. Imagine when the earth was formed, you know that the earth is full of, your earth, when it is initially formed, it is full of hot body. It is a hot magma body which is burning and boiling. And then it might have thrown some volcanoes out like that. Our earth was collection of volcanic material, and this volcanic material, when it started to throw out, it started to cool down. That means the magma is thrown out on either sides, and this became our crust in the initial days, right? This is your crust. Agreed? That means the first cooling happened from the surface, and interior of the earth is still hot. Aaj bhi hot hai. Core, mantle, you might have studied, it's still hot. So this places, wherever you get to see the uplift land masses. So these turned out to be your original land masses on the earth. Now these original land masses later went on to changes. That means this is the outer surface of the land. Now let me take you, if I take you to this land mass, just have a look, right? So this is your land mass. It got cooled down, solidified, basaltic magma, it came. And now, don't you think this landmass would be subjected to exogenetic factors? So these exogenetic factors are none other than sun, rain, wind, animal actions, slowly trees, animal action, you think of whatever it can happen in the atmosphere, it started to. So a part of this can be eroded. A part of this can be eroded, and these deposits can come and deposit on the sidelines with the water. Like that, certain deposits can come and deposit. So here, this got little eroded. This part of the land got eroded, right? And then they started to deposit. The eroded particles started to deposit on the sidelines like this. Imagine this is on the sidelines, they got to deposit, right? So I'll take this as a reference, right? See here, I'll erase the rest of the aspects for our ease of understanding. Look here. That means these particles are eroded particles and deposited on the sidelines, right? So cumulatively, if you find these kind of areas, they are the strongest and the original land masses, right? We call this as cratons. Now what does a craton has? This is called as shield and this is called as platforms, right? So these are platforms which are layer by layer sediment started to form, layer by layer sediment started to form, which got eroded and deposited there, and these are your platforms. So these are your shields. Can I say that shield is the original landmass of any continent? Now like that, India is a collection of 5 shields, right? In between these shields, you will find mountains, the original mountains, right? And that is the place where if there are no mountains, then there will be a valley. Let's say this is one shield. Like that, I said India is a collection of 5 shields. Imagine this is another shield. This is another shield with platforms, right? These two can collide with each other, fold, kuch bhi ho sakta hai. Now let's say India is a collection of these. Like that, when you go and look onto the global side, have you heard of Canadian shield? How many of you have heard Canadian shield? Bundelkhand shield. Look, these are the original land masses, the one which you see in dark color. These are the original land masses. बाकी सब altercations, ठीक है? कभी टूटा फूटा बाद में बना है, temporary land masses है. But these are the original land masses. When you go back, our original land masses are this. This is your Dharwad craton. जहां craton होगा, वहां mines and minerals मिलता है, right? Mines and minerals, possibility is there, I'm telling you. Wherever you see these gaps, that is where you will find coal. Thumb rule. ठीक है, thumb rule. In these gaps, there might have been forest that got deposited there. Don't think that gap means a chota mota gap. This gap can be 200 kilometers, right? So this is Dharwad. This is Bundelkhand craton. This is Bastar. आज भी Bastar वही region है. Bastar craton. And this is Singhbhum craton. And the other one is Meghalaya craton. So see, to make it little more easier for you, see here. Your Aravallis are present here, and these are your Satpuras. Okay? And this is your Mahanadi river, this is your Godavari river. Right? So basically, your Aravalli craton and Bundelkhand craton collision ki karan Aravallis बनाए, right? That means your original landmass is actually these cratons. Now above these cratons, you can see like this. Just a minute. See here. I hope you understood what is a craton. Craton is a collection of shield and a platform. Now above these, let's say erosion can happen. Above these, you can see layers of sand can be there, material can be there, and few thousands or lakhs of years, few millions of years later, you might see a forest which can be developed over this. This can be a forest. Okay? There can be a forest. Again, they might get folded. These land masses, they can get folded. A small scale rolling plains can form, or else again, think all the possible imaginations. There can be a volcano hotspot which can come, puncture and add material here, right? That, but the original land masses are, जहां शील्ड होगा वहां अर्थक्वेक नहीं होता, ठीक है? जहां शील्ड है वहां अर्थक्वेक नहीं होता है. So you come back, your earthquakes are majorly seen in Himalayan belt, very fragile. Have you ever seen earthquakes in Hyderabad like the way you see in Delhi? So every 6 months or 7 months, all of a sudden you have to rush out from library, then talk, or earthquake aa gaya. Did you feel? Yes, I felt. So this is a common activity that you will come across in Delhi, northern parts of India, right? But volcanoes can also become, but what kind of volcanoes? There are different kinds of volcanoes. There can be a volcano which is hotspot. There can be a volcano which can be formed at collision of continental plate and oceanic plate. Continental plate में कोई volcanoes होता नहीं. Volcanoes can be there. Possibility is there, but what kind of volcano you need to think. I'll tell you how Deccan Plateau formed. Deccan Plateau is formed as a hotspot. We are on the hotspot. Today, that hotspot is not there beneath our Deccan Plateau. It is somewhere near the Reunion Islands. I understand your doubt. It will be resolved in next 5 minutes. That is where I'm going to land up there. Just now, I hope you got this. See here, these are the areas you will find minerals. In Karnataka, you will find minerals. In Bastar region, you will find minerals. And Singhbum Craton is nothing but Chota Nagpur, right? And Aravallis, these areas, marine regression, marine transgression ki karan, here not many minerals except copper. K3, you might have heard about the ancient time. Metallic and non-metallic. See, basically, if I draw a line like this, your common sense will say that this is the area of metallic minerals. This is the area of non-metallic minerals. Elimination. Simple. Ab se yaad karo, right? Heavy metals will be there. Let's say iron, you'll get it here. Do you have iron ore plants here? No, to set up an iron ore plant, what do you need? You need 4 major raw materials. It's a heavy industry. You cannot set up an industry near to the market. Why? Transportation cost will be very high. You have to set up iron ore industry because if you take raw material, this will be of this size. From that you make impurities and the final iron will be of this size. It is easy to transport this product to the market. Or else if you transport this entire heavy, how much fuel are going to burn? How much? So iron need to be set up next to the raw materials. And in today's modern era, you will see this iron ore is majorly present where? It is present in Odisha, this area. And Vizag is a Nanna Munna plant. Ye to fake plant hai. I mean to say, real viral mat karna hai. I mean to say, even without raw materials, it is still Vizag steel plant. It is forced. It is Andhrula Hakku. That Ukku is today taking out the juice from your side in terms of your profits. Why there are no profits? Purely because 600 kilometers, you are transporting raw material. That means you are transporting what? On a chota truck, you wanted to transport this big size raw material, right? This is what you are doing. But Singbum, the plants of the Rourkela and the Tata, Bhilai, these steel plants, for them, they went and set up their industry within this raw material area. They don't need to transport. See, you set up that steel plant just because an emotion has to come up, and then from here you wanted to export this to Japan because we had a treaty for next 40 years that I'll give you steel because Japan is a nation which is wanting to build. Okay, Japan to it build. Now today Japan had other alternatives. What alternatives do you have? Should you have to privatize this? Should you have to give incentives to this or credit line to this? And all this is up to the government. Okay, come back. See, steel plant of Visakhapatnam, here chances are very less that it is going to turn into profits. Why? Because you are transporting such heavy material and the final product is set up near to the market. Now, rest of them, you see, you need coal. Coal is required. Next, which kind of coal? Bituminous coal is required. Electricity wo sab to theek hai. Raw materials, what are the raw materials that are required to set up a steel plant? Iron ore. Next, water. ठीक है, agreed. Water is required for all the industries. Next, raw material. Huh? Why limestone? Why limestone? Why? Fluxing agent है limestone. Basically, in the furnace, you put iron ore, which is full of impurities. Iron ore is nothing but impurities plus iron. You put it, and you need coal to heat that. 1600 to 1800 degrees Celsius is there. That is when it will burn. Now you pour limestone to this. This limestone will go and bind with impurities, and it will stick. The pure iron you can, which is nothing but the pig iron, the cast iron. You can take that iron from this. You take the iron, and the impurities will be left behind. This is how the raw materials are required. One is coal is required, iron is required, and limestone is required. So all of this can be found here. See these valleys. Can you see these valleys? Mahanadi is there, Singbum is there, Godavari also coal is there. ठीक है, Singarani. You have coal here. You have coal here. Damodar Valley. ठीक है, Jharia, Dhanbad. You name it, you have it. That's why this is the cradle for the hub of all the industries. So agar aap ek line draw karo, it is a common sense line. This is the area of metallic minerals. Okay? These are non-metallic minerals, right? Except for copper, you will get copper here. Aravalli K3 mines. Now come back. So one more small concept, the formations of the Deccan Plateau, and then we'll go towards the rivers, national parks, and so. See, this part of the area you are clear with? अब आते हैं Deccan Plateau. See here, how did this Deccan Plateau form? Basically, already there were cratons. Your craton can be punctured by a hotspot. Now, what is a hotspot? What is a hotspot? Magma coming from the mantle area. Basically, mantle plumes. Mantle plumes. It comes from the mantle. Irrespective whether you have plate boundaries or not, it doesn't matter to you. Mantle plumes can come from anywhere. The mantle plumes are formed because of the excessive temperatures that are there in the mantle. So imagine this is your India, which is traveling. This is your India, and let's say when India is moving from, just imagine like this, whatever I'm trying to draw is something, please imagine in this dimension so that we should be on the same page. See here, imagine this is India. While it is going, it came under the hotspot, right? So for how many years? Few millions of years it was there. When it came under the hotspot, the shield of India which was there, it is starting to puncture, right? So the puncturing happened, and above that, basaltic magma started to come out here. Now let's say this is India, and this is where a hotspot was there. This is your core. The hotspot was actively present here. So as soon as India started, first Rajmahal Hills formed, then come to the Deccan Plateau. So here, what exactly is happening? Let's try to see. So first puncturing happened, and then can I say this is how the lava flowed for longer distances, right? Basaltic flood, basaltic province we call flood basalt, right? Plume se jo aata hai na, whatever the magma that comes from the plumes, it is basalt. The magma that comes from the deeper is basic in nature. It's not acidic. Now, after few years, again, you get to see the rise of the next set of episodes, but it only traveled till this distance. After few more years, this is how they traveled, and then one by one, you got to see layers like structures that are formed. Right now, India, after a while, India moved further. Along with that, our plateaus also will move further on India, right? So today, this is where your India is, and this turned out to be your Deccan Plateau, right? And your Lakshadweep started to form here. Hotspot usi jagah pe rahega, but India starts to move further. Now see, imagine this is your Deccan Plateau. Any plateau, majority of the times will form like this only. But our Deccan is little special. So special that if you start to measure, this is 200 meters. After that, maybe this is 80 kilometers. Again, there is a raised platform for 200 meters. Again, plain area, rise, plain area, raised, plain area. If someone stands here and watches for this person, it feels like this person would see a landmass which is trapped. Okay, for him, this looks like a trap. Because trap ho gaya, landmass is trapped one by one. That's why we call this as Deccan trap. Right? So here, our Godavari rivers and all will flow at this height. Right? So Godavari river, let's imagine your Godavari river will flow like this. To make you understand this, I'll take the liberty to draw one more diagram. So let's say, imagine this is a plateau. This is entirely a Deccan Plateau area. So imagine this is also a plateau area. Imagine this is plateau. So your river will be flowing at this height. But you are located here. Right? You go to Adilabad. Adilabad itna upar hai. Nalgonda idhar hai. Right? Karimnagar is here. And then you go to the Khammam. Khammam is right next to the Godavari. Right? So, दिक्कत क्या है ना? So, water है बहुत हमारे पास. पानी बहुत है. Those who are living near to this, they can utilize this water. That's why, what did we do? We pumped and created a dam here. We store water, we pump here. We store water and we create canals. Canals like this. We create canal system, we create a dam here. From the dam, again we pump up here, we create canal system, and people who are living would like to get the water. Right? So, had if this Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project is not there, this is a dry area. Right? This needs to be seen from welfare angle. Economic calculations baad mein. Mains, whenever you get, you can write in that way. So here what I mean to say is that, one, lift irrigation is the solution for the people who are there on the top. Water is available. Rich farmers can dig a borewell, right? And get some aquifer traps which are there, they can use the water. But what about the poor farmer who only has 2.5 acres? Kuch nahi kar sakta. This problem is a common problem, not for Telangana, any plateau in India. Right? Any plateau in India. And do you think these plateaus are hard rocks? Plateau ke upar jo, whatever the rocks that are they not hard? If a river is flowing, river finds it difficult to cut. So that's why when you go and look into the topography of the river, what kind of rivers that you get. So if suppose the landmass is very easy for the river to erode, the river will behave like a tree branches. Take a dendritic pattern it will have, right? But a same river, when it has to if rocks are hard rock, eastern Singhbum region and Chota Nagpur region, you will find terils. Terils means what? Whenever you have hard rocks, the river is not able to cut here, there, and it is making a small softed area of a path, and this is called as terils. But if the rocks are not hard, the river can easily move in the direction whatever it wants. When you look from the space, this is how it looks. This is called as dendritic. Examples are Ganga. Ganga is dendritic, Godavari, Krishna. So our Godavari Krishna is way older, very, very older. So that's why it is able to erode. Because our Deccan Plateau is very old. Very, very old. So Godavari Krishna Mahanadi. But the rocks which are there in the central part of India, they are very hard rocks, very, very hard rocks. So that's why the river cannot easily move. Now, when you look into the map of the river Godavari, the river Krishna, or river Ganga, all of them will have tree-like structures, right? So they are called as dendritic. If you have like this, we call it as terils. Can I say the central part of India has terils kind of drainage? Yes. So here, this will have terils. That's why the gap, not many tributaries will be there here, right? But come to Ganga. So this is your Ganga. It looks like a tree and a branches. We call this as dendritic. Okay. So you understood the problem of plateaus, availability of resources, but effective utilization of the resources is a challenging task for which technology need to be intervened, and that technology is nothing but the lift irrigation projects, right? Likewise, bore wells you need to dig, solar technologies need to be there, right? Apart from that, mines and minerals. What kind of minerals you will get? So first, let's say that iron milta nahi hai yaar. Isme iron nahi milta. I told you in the geography or environment classes, where do you get iron? Iron ka major source kahan se aata hai? What is the primary source of iron on the earth? There are only two reasons the iron is present. If iron is present in your area, that means only two deductions you can make. One, there should have been a meteor strike in your area, or else material from the inner core might have come out, or outer core might have come out. Yes, these are the only two reasons why you will have iron. Iron cannot be formed by metamorphism that easily, right? Iron in your area, it's an indication that meteor shower happened, or else from the core long back, many years back, millions of years, billions of years back, the magma might have come and solidified there, right? That is how iron can be formed. Iron isme nahi hota. Deccan Plateau mein, where do you see iron? Any example that you can tell? Ballari, is Ballari part of Deccan Plateau? Ballari mines are a bit different. Okay? Ballari is like this. Suppose this is your Western Ghats. Your Ballari is somewhere here between Deccan Plateau and here, right? So here, any minerals that you find, basically, if XYZ minerals are formed here, under the heavy pressure, they'll change themselves. That's why gold will be formed. Diamonds are found here. Because how is diamond formed? The pencil that you have, graphite, usi graphite ko you put extreme pressure and change the temperature and the volume, it will turn out to be diamond. This is a new business called lab grown diamonds, right? They have identified that, acha, if I give this much pressure, a new diamond is formed. There is no difference, right? The lab grown diamonds and the original diamonds look same. It's just that they take the graphite or carbon and then put that under extreme pressure and change the temperature. So likewise, diamonds of possibility are there here, and materials, concur will be found, right? Manganese will be found. Likewise, uranium possibility is there here. So boundaries. So when you understand the plateau, think in these directions. Now come back. So here, this Deccan Plateau is a combination of Maharashtra mein Maharashtra Plateau, Telangana Plateau. You come little south, Karnataka is Karnataka Plateau. So this is your Deccan Plateau. See, this Deccan Plateau is formed because of the volcanism, right? And the volcanism was so extreme in the first episode that volcanism, the hotspot entered in India from here. So it flowed in this part of the area, and also it entered into this part of the area. Wherever you have basaltic magma coming out, and if you have two things, rainfall is less, sunlight is more, the parent material is basalt, what rock, what soil it will be formed? किसने granite का -2.66. See, try to understand this. Soil. If suppose you have basalt rock. Basalt is nothing but when the volcano comes out, the primary rock is basaltic rock. Now on the basaltic rock, if you have rainfall and good amount of sunlight, this will form laterite, which is seen in this part of the area. This is laterite, right? If you have basalt and you have no rain but good amount of heat, non-humid area, this will be black soil. Can I say black soil is the black soil ka parent material or laterite soil ka parent material same hai? Right? But the temperature conditions are different. So basalt rock with humid conditions and alternative heat conditions, it will give you laterite. Same basalt rock with respect to non-humid conditions and good amount of sunlight, I mean heat, hot and humid and dry conditions, it will give you black soil. Same way, if the parent material is granite, okay, parent material is granite, gneiss or any metamorphism of this, you have rainfall and you have sunlight. So this rainfall is not there, good amount of sunlight is there. What soil will be formed? This is the red color of the red soil is primarily because of diffusion of ferrous. Diffusion means what? Basically higher concentration to lower concentration. So if you find that diffusion process, this will turn out to be red soil, right? Same parent material, granite is the parent material. Basalt is the parent material for this. Now that's the reason why if you see your soil maps in your atlas or anywhere, you will find this part of the area is also having black soil. So Kathiawar Peninsula has black soil. Deccan Plateau primarily, majorly, it is, don't think that red soil is absent. Sporadically, you might come across in your villages, that is Beed Bhumulu, this is Banjar Bhumulu, that is Saudu. Like that, you have different names in Telangana. Though technical names in English are nothing but these are fertile, those are non-fertile. Basically, that local variation is there. If that red soil is there, they need to give good water. If the black soil is there, then they choose to grow cotton there, right? They never dare to go for sugarcane because sugarcane cannot be grown in these areas. Little risky. So here in this area, Black cotton soil is very much favorable for black soil. Cotton is very much favorable for black soil. Why again? See, basically, cotton, whenever you're putting the crop seed, first it needs some water. Take a good amount of moisture is required. Once it starts to open up the bowl, you have to start giving low moisture to it. And a bowl is fully open. Then you're fully open and your cotton plant need to be dried. Right? So the best drying can happen when the soil is cracked naturally. And black soil has the tendency, if you stop giving water, it will start to crack. And through that aerations, the roots get dried and the cotton ball is fully optional to be operated and easily plugged. If the moisture is there, then the cotton ball disease will come. So that's why people choose the last hard work. Last hard work is, in fact, if you grow cotton, cotton can also be grown in the loamy soil. Punjab mein bahut zyada cotton grow hota hai. There is no black soil there. The highest growing cotton in India, if you look into, Punjab stays in top 3. Cotton is grown there. Groundnut is grown there. Why? Cotton can be grown in any soil, loamy soil chahiye. But cotton is best grown in black soil. Why? Because of the black soil, which is called as regur. Regur. Black soil is also called as regur in southern states. And this regur soil will crack. And these cracks will create aeration. Okay? And the roots which are there, the roots of the plant which are there, they get aerated and they dry and the cotton ball is fully open. That's why cotton is widely grown in the black soil. So can I say cotton can be grown in those areas where you have black soil more? That's why cotton is grown here, right? Okay, come. You know Karnataka plateau, Maharashtra plateau, Telangana plateau, Dandakaranya plateau, ye sare वैसी बना, right? And see here, you will find basins. Basins are depressions, basically. They are saucer shaped. Your Bangladesh is saucer. Bangladesh is a saucer, right? If it is a saucer, water comes this side, it will store here. From this side also it will store, right? So that's why your Mahanadi basin, Dandakaranya region, water comes and stores there. So good growth of forest will be there. And in Bangladesh, if it rains, it just doesn't rain, it pours, right? It just pours like water, the rainfall. So too much of water, that's the reason why the cultivation of jute is there. Jute is also grown in Bangladesh. Wherever you find, remember, jute के बारे में कुछ भी पूछा जाए, एक चीज याद रखो, jute can be grown in areas where it is waterlogged. ठीक है? Water logging कहाँ पे हो सकता है इंडिया में? Wherever the river flooding area is there, right? Delta regions it can grow. Here also you can grow. Andhra plains also. Deltas can't be formed on the Western Ghats, right? Your deltas can't be formed on the Western Ghats. Your Western Ghats are escarpments. They are steeper on one side and gentler on the other side. So on this side you find estuaries, but on this side it is very gentle. So the river comes and forms deltas. So wherever you see this delta region, you will see the growth of rainfall requirement is more for jute. Cotton is grown in the hinterlands, right? Clear? You should think in multi-dimensional aspects. That is when your prelims में बहुत ज़्यादा सवाल guesswork के साथ सही होता है, right? Okay. Now the last physiographic regions before we go in, it is your Western Ghats and then the Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats are discontinuous in nature. Why? Because of the rivers. Okay? This is Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Brahmani, Baitarni. Like that, many rivers are there on the eastern sides. These are discontinuous mountains. Why? Because these rivers did not let the mountain to rise, simply it cut across. These are Western Ghats. Western Ghats may be कुछ ऐसे areas है जहाँ पे it's not, some passes are there in Maharashtra also, some are there. Now imagine that this it is steeper on one side and gentler on the other side. If rain falls, it comes very swiftly, and if a river is flowing in this direction, will it not move swiftly? It will move gently on one side. Western side of the Western Ghats, right? The river flows at a very faster rate. And then, if this is a plain area, right, will the river also erode the plain area? And lastly, imagine this is your sea. For the river to join the sea, the distance between this mountains and the sea is hardly 8 kilometers. So that 8 kilometers coastal plains are erosional coastal plains. But same goes to the eastern side. You see, if the river is coming in this direction, river is having this plain area. This is a plain area. This river comes and deposits itself for 30 kilometers. And the slope is very gentle, right? So this mountain slope is very gentle. So the river comes and deposits here. This slope is very gentle. That means the river flows very gently. So look at the difference. And your coastal areas will be like this. Imagine this is your water. But river already got 30 kilometers distance, 30 kilometer distance to settle itself. So these are called as coastal plains. These are called as coastal plains. Now tell me, on the eastern side, the river will deposit or erode? Deposit. On the western side, the river will erode. That's why they are called erosional coastal plains. They are called depositional coastal plains. When you look onto the India, the coastal plains are, eastern coastal plains are depositional coastal plains. Western coastal plains are erosional coastal plains. And in the due process of the erosion, the river seems to be entering at a very faster rate. So fast that it will directly meet into the sea. It do not have the time for resting. It won't have much of the time to rest. So that's why you go into any rivers on the western side, you will see the river directly enters into the sea. Look here. The rivers directly enters into the sea, right? So this is called as, can I say when there is a waves from the sea, they'll come this side, and river water also come this side? Can I call estuaries also as echo tones? So this is brackish water. And this is (33 parts per thousand), right? So this is how the rivers. This is the same story when you look into across the rivers of the Western Ghats. Any river you see, but I'll take you to the eastern side. Just let's go towards the eastern side. Eastern side, it's a bit different. The river takes time to settle. The river spends little more time in depositing itself. And then look here. This is your delta. The distance from here to here might be 80 to 100 kilometers. But that distance is only 8 kilometers. So if the river is moving faster, it will erode. Can I say that this is where deltas are formed? Look at this. If I zoom in, depositions are many. Do you have one single stream there? But here, this is called as not one branch of a river, multiple branches. So this is called as ana branching of rivers. Okay? Ana branching. Matlab, one single river depositing its sand, its material, and then making waves to move out of that sand. So this is depositions. But on the other side, erosions. That's why you find alluvial soils which are very, very fertile, right? So fertile, 3 crops can be taken out. River brings out such beautiful minerals here. All you need is just nitrogen. Nitrogen de do, kaam khatam. Coastal areas, you grow coconut, in between you do cultivation, right? But come to plateau, bichara farmer, एक क्रॉप के लिए he'll start to pray, आज आ जाओ बारिश, कल आ जाओ बारिश, right? But here the farmers are blessed to have river water and the sand also, not just river, right? So that is the fundamental difference of a farmer in a plateau to the farmer in a plain area. And the green revolution came up here. Same way green revolution also came up in the north plain area, right? Green revolution did not reach to the plateaus. So that's why the difference started to be widening more. Let's say this farmer gets 3 crops in a year, this farmer gets 1 crop. Whatever the crop, they have to eat first and then they sell. But for them, 3 crops. So these 3 crops, just look at the divide in the next 50 years, what it created. I'll tell you. So here onwards, farmer, 2 crops they save and they sell it, they get the funds. This year they buy the tractor so that they can do more agriculture. Farmer here waits for 1 crop. Kaleshwaram and all came little only now. Before that, 1 crop in a year they get, and then 1 crop, they eat it, whatever they get, and rest they sell. So here 3 crops in a year, water is available. That means every year 2 more crops of additional income. That is creating a rich farmer to become richer and richer, and a poor farmer to get poorer and poorer. And here became a divide, that those who owned the lands versus those who do not have the lands. Those who do not have the lands were the ones started to fight. जमीन जो टिल करेगा उसका ही होगा, ठीक है, दुन्ने वाड़ दे भूमि, या the one who uses the land, should the land belongs to them. So that is the Land Sealing Act came into picture in 1970s and said 32 acres से ज़्यादा आपको नहीं होना चाहिए, ठीक है, Sealing Act cap, but officially it is not that great implemented. Of course, in Telangana it is very well implemented, ठीक है. In Andhra, you come and say that 100 acres, I have 200 acres, I have 300 acres, you have, right? But that's not the case when you come to Telangana, because this gave breeding to the left-wing extremism. And this is where one of the primary reason, right? So Green Revolution, how it has led to the divide into these societies and divide to the rise of the left-wing extremism, right? Come back. So why did left-wing extremism do not sustain in Himalayas, but mostly in this part of the area? Left-wing extremism is from Tirupati to Pasupati. ठीक है, this is what is red corridor. Lal Janda. ठीक है. If someone asks you what is red corridor, you just say Tirupati to Pashupati. Pashupati is in Nepal, right? Pashupati temple is there. The very next question would be, what is Pashupati? So Tirupati to Pashupati. Why this red corridor mein Naxalism survived, or the left-wing extremism survived, you know? Because of the topography. Chota Mota hills, thick forest, you ambush and you run away. In Himalayas, that is not possible, right? You do one activity here, charo taraf Himalayas ger lenge, right? That's why topography did not help them. In the plain area, topography did not help them. But you come to terrorism survived there, that's because of religious issues. But when you look into this, it is purely because of topography and the divide, Green Revolution divide. Mains में ये सब लिख के आना है, मतलब you essays and all, you have to create these kahanis. Come back. So in totality, you briefly had the profile of India, right? This is the profile of India. In this, now let's go one by one. factual content. Let's look into the east and west extent of India. East west. The easternmost of India is Kibuthu. Kibuthu, easternmost point, 9725 degrees. The westernmost point of India is called as Guhar Moti in Gujarat. The northernmost point of India is Indra Kol, and the southernmost point of India is Indra Point. And the mainland of India, which is considered as Tamil Nadu and Kerala, here it is Kanyakumari. So we generally say that Kashmir to Kanyakumari, that is very stereotyping. You say Kashmir to Indra Point, right? Kashmir to Indra Point. So Kashmir to Kanyakumari or Kashmir to Indra Point, that is the extent of India. And Guhar Moti to Kibuthu, the latitudinal extent is more or the longitudinal extent is more? 8 degrees to 37 degrees. Difference is? You just calculate. This is observational points, 68 and this is 97. Roughly 29 degrees is there, east-west. 37 to 8. What is the difference? 29 only, no? Yes? So this is an interesting aspect, but now you need to calculate with respect to points. 8.4 to 37 minus 37 degrees, 6 minutes. What is the value you get? And 68.7 to 9725. So you calculate the distance. Now tell me the answer. Is the east-west extent of India latitudinally the value is more or longitudinally the value is more? Longitudinal value, right? Longitude, yeah. See, don't go with the kilometers. I asked about the value. You do not use two longitudes as measuring a distance. You use only latitude for measuring the distance, right? The distance between two latitudes is more or less always the same. Is the statement correct? Yes. Yes, more or less I told. Absolutely it is not correct. At equator, it is 111 kilometers. If you go near to the polar region, it is little flat. There it is 111 plus little more kilometers. So calculation of the distance, latitudes are taken, but longitudes are taken for time calculations, right? The east-west distance is 3214. The north-south distance is more as compared to east-west distance, and these are the points, right? Come to the Tropic of Cancer. It passes through 8 states. Name them. Starts from, look and tell me. Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha is there? No. West Bengal, Tripura, Mizoram. Now look at this and tell me how many of the capitals are present north and how many are present in the south, through which the Tropic of Cancer passing through. Three capitals are present north of the Tropic of Cancer, rest of the capitals are present south. Right? One is Rajasthan's Jaipur, Tripura and Mizoram. These two capitals are present in the north, including Ahmedabad, Bhopal, Chhattisgarh's Raipur, Jharkhand, Ranchi and Kolkata. They are all present south of it. Right? So this can be a trap, observational trap. Right? So Jaipur, Mizoram and Tripura, capital cities are present north of it. Look at and tell me, how many states in India has at least 2 international borders with it? आंख बंद करके सोच के बताओ अभी. 2, 3, 4, 5. How many states in India has international, at least 2 international borders to it? Is it a state? Union territory. Minus 2.66. How many I am asking? If the examiner gives you a question, how many of the states are at least having borders with at least 2 countries, 2 international borders? Right? 7 states has how? At least 2 I asked. 2. What are they? Uttarakhand has border with Nepal and Tibet. That is China. Good. Next, Sikkim. Sikkim has border with Nepal, Bhutan and China. Right. 2 states. Arunachal. Agreed. Next, West Bengal with? Good. Agreed. Assam. Chalo. Now let's do some observations. See, if a person is walking from Kolkata to, listen to this, if a person is walking from Kolkata to Gujarat, the longest coastline state to the shortest coastline state, how many coastal states the person is supposed to cross if you exclude the origin and the destination? If a person is walking from the longest coastline state to the shortest coastline state, how many minimum number of states the person has to cross if he is traveling only on the coastal area, only on the coastal states? Wait, think. Which state has the shortest coastline? Goa is the state. Union territory or state? Pakka. When did it form? How many union territories are there in India? Name them. Goa, Daman and Diu and Dadar and Nagar Haveli, it is only one. Dadar and... Okay. So it is only one. Now let's say if a person is traveling from West Bengal to Gujarat, how many coastal states the person has to travel? Think and tell. 3, 5, 6, 7 is the option. If I exclude the origin and destination states, 3 kaise ho gaye? You want to jump from there? Say from west. नीचे से भी जाओ, फिर भी 3 कैसे होगा? If I exclude the West Bengal and Gujarat, so what are the states? Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra. 6 or 7? Now let's do some observations. Look here. First one, look at Assam. Assam is one state that has borders with all the northeastern states. Assam is one state that has borders with all the northeastern states. Yes? Now, bordering with 2 states. Mizoram is having border with 2 states, 2 countries. Bangladesh, Myanmar. Did your mind go there? Tripura, it is entirely having border with Bangladesh. Assam has border with Bangladesh. Assam has border with Bhutan. 2 countries it has borders with. West Bengal has border with Nepal and Bangladesh. West Bengal also has border with Bhutan. Okay. Arunachal Pradesh has border with Myanmar, China. Right? Sikkim has border with 3. So look and again tell me how many states has at least borders with 3 countries? West Bengal, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh. When it comes to 2 states, at least 2 states, these 3 states are anyways going to be there. You add Mizoram and you add Uttarakhand, right? Uttarakhand has a borders with Nepal. Yes. So this is how you're supposed to look. Next, union territory when they ask. Ladakh. Does it has borders with Afghanistan? Though it is occupied territory by Pakistan, but still it is our territory, right? So it has borders with Afghanistan also, right? And Pakistan too. Clear? So make sure you observe the map clearly. One by one, please look here. One, Assam shares border with Bhutan and Bangladesh. Yes. West Bengal shares border with Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh. Mizoram shares border with, yes, Bangladesh and Myanmar. Right. So these are some of the basic observations that you are supposed to know. Okay. Himalayas, you already know. The classification of Himalayas are like this: Eastern Himalayas, Western Himalayas. See here, you just need to know few rivers. One river is your Sutlej. Okay, from here you have your Indus, then you have Sutlej, right? And this is your Kali, this is your Teesta, and this is your Brahmaputra. So Indus and Sutlej, these are called as Kashmir ya Punjab Himalayas. And these are called as Kumaon if it is Kali. Kali is a river which divides Nepal and India, right, in Uttarakhand. So these are called as Kumaon. And these are central Himalayas, which is between Teesta and Kali, right? The orientation of Himalayas here are east to west. The orientation of Himalayas are east to west. Now between Teesta and Brahmaputra, the orientation of Himalayas are northeast to southwest direction. Northeast to southwest. This is the direction. So these are called as Assam Himalayas or Northeast Himalayas. These are called as Central Himalayas, and these are called as Kumaon, and these are called as Punjab or Kashmir Himalayas. Right? Indus, Sutlej, Kali, Teesta, Brahmaputra. This is the longitudinal division of the Himalayas, right? Orientation you need to check. Look at the orientation. See here, our orientation in the Western Himalayas, their orientation is from southeast to northwest direction. Southeast to northwest. The orientation in the Central Himalayas is east to west, right? And you might be asking this doubt, sir, is it northwest to southeast? No. We always measure from east to west. In geography, you look from east to west in terms of measurements, and the earth rotates from west to east. So here, this orientation is in northeast to southwest, right? So the divisions are based on the rivers. This is Kali, and this is Indus and Sutlej. This is your Teesta, and this is your Brahmaputra, right? When it comes to current affairs, there's one thing. See here, the river Brahmaputra, this is a U-bend. This is a U-bend, right? Patkai Boom is here. This is not, I'm talking about the Yarlung Zangpo river in Brahmaputra. That is Brahmaputra in the China, Tibetan region. So within a 50-kilometer distance, okay? Within 50-kilometer distance, the river height varies from 2000 meters to 2000 meters variation is there. That means from 2000 meters, it will fall down and it comes down to a variation height of 2000 meters, just within 50 kilometers, right? With such great speeds the river comes, can it not be a great potential for hydro? So China is building a dam here. This is called as the Great Bend. This is called as the Great Bend. This is the river. This is called as the Great Bend. 26.xyz gigawatts of energy from this hydroelectric power project. 26 gigawatts from one hydroelectric power project. Such a great power project it is building, and India objected it. Why? Because water stoppage will be there, they'll use the water, treated water will be sent, and India has its own projects here. The flow will impact, right? So India has objected for this, but China do not listen to this. Brahmaputra. So here you need to know what is the name of Brahmaputra river in Tibet. Yarlung Zangpo. Yarlung, Zangpo. Right? Come. Classification you are clear with? Physiography, right? Look at Kashmir. In the north, you have Karakoram range. This is Karakoram. Then you have Ladakh. Okay? Then you have Zanskar. Then you have Great Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, right? And then Shivaliks, right? Please understand these cities. First, Jammu. If you want to travel from Jammu to Srinagar, the pass that you're supposed to cross is Banihal Pass, right? Only important passes you need to know. First pass is Banihal Pass. From Srinagar to Leh, if you want to travel, okay, the pass that you will cross through is Zojila Pass, right? Srinagar to, if you want to go to Leh, look here. From Srinagar to Leh, if you want to go, it is Zojila Pass, right? From Leh to Kargil, if you are planning to go, it is Fotula. It is otherwise called as Zojila only. Zojila ka subpart hai Fotula. But what exactly is a pass? Pass is nothing but a road that connects two mountain ranges, or else a road that cuts the mountain ranges so that we can cross those mountains. Majority of the times in the mountains, it is a river. Next to the river, you keep on building, right? So this is Kardungla. If you want to go to Siachen, this is your Siachen from Leh. This is Kardungla, and it is present on Karakoram ranges. Karakoram ranges. And if you want to travel from Himachal Pradesh to Leh, Bara-Lachala, right? These are the important passes. Bara-Lachala, Kardungla, Zojilla, Banihal. Okay? These are the important passes that you are supposed to know. Then few other passes are there. That is, see, Karakoram Pass. It is nothing but a pass that cuts the mountains of the Karakoram, right? It is connecting Siachen to that of the Kargil, that is Leh Ladakh. Siachen to there. Burzil Chodo, Zojila, that is Srinagar to Leh. Shipkila, the place where river Sutlej enters into India. Shipkila is the place where the Sutlej river enters into India. And then comes Jalipla and Yangla. It is on the eastern side. That will look in the next 5 minutes. There are places in news that you need to just have an understanding. This place is in dispute between India and China. So one by one, quickly I'll show you what are these places. One, Aksai Chin. It's a disputed area between India and China. You know it. Here, Chumar region. Chumar region में conflict हुआ था between the Indian soldiers and the European soldiers. In the northeast, Shipkila I told. This is Shipkila is the place where the river Indus enters, Sutlej enters into this. Sutlej. This is also a disputed area. Now, northeast area, northeast India, this is called as the McMahon line. McMahon line, it is actually a line which is accepted by the Tibet. It is a line which is drawn by the Britishers, and Tibet regime accepted, but China do not accept that. So they say that this entire Arunachal Pradesh is ours. And they keep on passing in their administrative bills that the name of Bomdila is Chungchungla, like that. They have their own names. Yes, that is the Chungchungla is their name, right? Bomdila is a place which is Buddhist Tibet monasteries are there. Now China renames the territories in their books, right? So a person from Arunachal Pradesh, a couple of years back, an officer wanted to visit China, who is a resident of this part of the area. They said that you don't need visa, you're part of China, right? So India protested that also. On a fun note, whatever. Now here you need to know these names. One is Longju, which was in news, these places, disputed areas. Longju. Then come to Dibang Valley, Dihang Dibang. This is the place where the river Brahmaputra is called Brahmaputra, right? Yes. Next, Dichu, Longju, Dibang Valley. Baki sab not much important. Now come to the northeast. Here, this is your Sikkim, and this is your Bhutan. So India protects Bhutan. Bhutan is a protectorate, has a status, protectorate status. If Bhutan has to go to war, it has to go with Indian army only, right? So last time what happened is that this Doklam issue, Doklam is actually a standoff, Doklam standoff you might have heard. Here the issue was between the China and Bhutan, where the army is present there. This is called as Chumbi Valley. Within the Chumbi Valley, you have Doklam and Nathula. These are the two passes, right? So Doklam is actually in the Bhutan. It is having borders with the Bhutan, which are present in this Chumbi Valley. This is called as Chumbi Valley, the valley which is present between Sikkim and Bhutan. So here you have Doklam and Nathula. These are the two passes. So this is where we had the standoff, Doklam standoff, 3 to 4 years before. So 2020. Doklam and Nathula, right? Okay. We call the area of Pangong Tso as fingers. Okay? Pangong Tso as fingers. Why? Because when you see from the space, you put your fingers like this. It feels like these are the fingers of China. It says finger points. The shape of that will be like that, and protruded land into the water. So 60% of the Pangong Tso lake is with the control of China. It is in the India's territory occupied by China, right? 60% is with them, 40% is with us. When you go to Pangong Tso, that is the boundary, and we follow the property of Talwik as on date. So here, finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, finger 4. These fingers, when you come across in news articles, it's an indication that the standoff happened here, or else the fight happened, or the issues happened here. Like that, we have 8 fingers, right? 8 fingers which are there with respect to Pangong Tso. And that's your Aksai Chin. So this is Chinese controlled territory of the Pangong Tso, but majority of the area is with them only. Now come to the mountain ranges that we are supposed to look one by one. From the north, Karakoram, Ladakh, Zanskar, right? They are called as, these 3 are Trans-Himalayas, right? And Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, the different names are Pir Panjal, Doladar, Nag Tibba. Here you have Nag Tibba ranges. Pir Panjal, Doladar, Nag Tibba. Pir Panjal's in Kashmir, Doladars in Himachal Pradesh, and then Nag Tibba in Uttarakhand. These are Lesser Himalayas. And then comes your Shivaliks. So smallest height is Shivaliks, greatest height is in the Greater Himalayas. So Trans-Himalayas, they are called trans because they are present on the Eurasian plate. Territorially, they are within India, but they are present on the plate. Geologically, they are present on the Eurasian plate. This I have already told. So here you have Tethys Sea sediments. 98% of the lakes which are present in this part of the area, they are saline in nature. If you open your atlas, you can easily see Somorori and Pangong Tso. These are the 2 major lakes, Somorori Lake and Pangong Tso. These lakes, both of them are saline in nature. See here. This is Somorori and this is Pangong Tso. Are they fresh? Next, Spangurso. Spangurso, Somorori, Pangong Tso. So these are the 3 lakes. All 3 are. Why they are saline? Because this area was once covered with ocean, right? Marine sediments are there. These marine sediments are the ones which are leading to this salinity. Lakes are saline. Remember one more thing. If a river, let's say any river which is leading and making a lake, let's say if this is a river and has created a lake, these lakes are fresh, like Lake Vular, Kishan Ganga projects, Lake Vular suna hai, right? Kashmir, right? So that is a freshwater lake. Why is it freshwater lake? Because it has a connection with the river. Rest of the lakes, if you see this, they are saline in nature. Remember, 99% of the lakes are saline in nature. But look at this. This is your Lake Vular. This is fresh. Clear? And once come to the hills first, let's go to, in this, the tallest mountain on the western side is K2. K2 is present in Karakoram, right? Then come to the central part, it is Mount Everest. Annapurna is located here. Nanda Devi and Nanda Devi is located in Uttarakhand, right? K2 is in Karakoram. Mount Everest is in the center. Next to Mount Everest, you have Makalu. It is also in the center, 8,000 meters. There are 14 peaks across the globe which are more than 8,000 meters. Only 14 peaks which are having height of more than 8,000, right? Majority of them, either they are in the central Himalayas or in the K2, right? Gasherbang is also, Manaslu is also, Makalu is also, like that. So here, Kanchenjunga, it is the highest peak in India. As on date, Kanchenjunga is the highest peak within the territory of India, right? As on date, K2 is there. It is world's second largest, but it is occupied by Park. So I already told many a number of times that the cost of scaling onto Everest is roughly 50 to 70 lakhs minimum side I am telling you. That is the total cost that you are supposed to incur. It's just the total cost is because of the license fee that we generally pay to them. So the license fee to the states, Nepal, is 10 lakh rupees. If you just want to go to Everest and put your feet on the beyond the base camp, that is the fees, right? So battery. It's very important, these peaks, for the revenue also, for the ecology also, for learning also. All these are important. Now come to northeast area, we have to learn about the mountains which are there in the northeast. So these mountains have different names. Let me show you first the topography. Look at this topography. It seems like your northeast is full of mountains, but not. Assam is a plain area. Assam is a plain area. Wherever the river Brahmaputra flows in the Assam, it is completely plain. Now, the river Brahmaputra meanders a lot. Brahmaputra meanders a lot. The battery is also less in this. Keep the charge. So this also meanders a lot. So that's why it is a sorrow to the northeast, right? And an island which is located here, this is called as Majuli Island. So these mountains beyond Namcha Barwa, here you have a mountain called Namcha Barwa. This northeast mountains are called as Patkai Booms, okay? Or eastern hills, which are also called as Purvanchals. So in simple terms, these mountains will have different names in different states. In Nagaland, you call them as Naga Hills. In Manipur, you call them as Manipuri Hills. In Mizoram, these are Mizo Hills. And in Arunachal Pradesh and Assam, you have mountains which are having named on their tribal community. So these tribal communities are Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla, Mikir. Repeat after me. The mountain ranges in the Arunachal Pradesh which are named after the tribes are Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. M-A-N-D, alternate M. So Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla, and M, he is Mikir in Assam. So these are the major mountain ranges which are seen in the northeast. So look here, Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla, and then Mikir in the Assam. These are the mountain ranges. Nagaland, Naga Hills, Manipur, Manipuri Hills, Mizoram, Mizo Hills. Which is called as the molasses basin of India? Mizoram. Good. Molasses basin. Sugarcane is widely grown here. Right? This is molasses. See, in your atlas, you'll have this. Mishmi, Abor, Miri, Dafla. Then you have Mikir. So come to Meghalaya. The mountain ranges are Garo, Kasi, Jaintia. The national parks are Nokrek and Balpakram. The national parks of Arunachal Pradesh are Mauling and Namdafa. Mauling and Namdafa. The national parks of Nagaland are Intaki, Intaki, Manipur, Kaibul Lamjo, Mizoram, Bison and Blue Mountain. What is the other name for the Blue Mountain? Fang Phui. Fang Phui. Bison and clouded leopard in Tripura. So these are the national parks. Let us quickly once go through them. Kanchenjunga, Sikkim, right? Mauling and Namdafa. Tigers are present in both of them. Then Assam बाद में देखेंगे. Nokrek, Balpakram, right? And then Intaki in Nagaland. Manipur, Kaibul Lamjo, Murlin and Phangphui. Murlin and Phangphui in Mizoram. And lastly, clouded leopard and bison. So this is how you need to remember. Then come to the river Brahmaputra in the northeast. You have it anyways. Look at this. You know that majority, these are all hills. This is your Namcha Barwa. This is where the river takes a turn, and within 50 kilometers, 2000 meters ka drop hai. That's a very drastic drop of the river. 50 kilometers, 2000 drop is a very hectic drop. So Yarlung, which is Brahmaputra, it enters into India, Dihang and Dibang. These two rivers, there's a small river. From here, we call this as Brahmaputra, right? Now look at the right bank and left bank tributaries, right? So follow the path. In this, look at the right bank tributaries. First, it is Subansiri. Caming, Subansiri, Caming, Manas, Dubri, Tista. Is Tista joining in India or in Bangladesh? So that's why if any amendments to Tista, Bangladesh is required. Tista Water Treaty also has Bangladesh as a party. You need to remember. Next, when it comes to Bhutan, Bhutan is involved in case of Manas. So the source of the river, Manas and Dubri, both of them, they come from Bhutan area, hilly areas of Bhutan. The problem with Brahmaputra river is, it is the most voluminous river of India. Remember, Brahmaputra has the most volume in India, and the basin of Brahmaputra is very, very big. Problem is, majority of the rivers are internationally to be dealt. Look at this. Tista, Bangladesh. Then Manas and Dubri, Bhutan. Subansiri, Tibet. The main source, Brahmaputra, that is Dihang, Dibang or Yarlung Zangpo, they are also coming from Tibet. So India is actually a riparian state, but not the source state. Understand? India is a riparian state, but not a source state. So that's why our rights on the Brahmaputra are limited. Our rights on the Brahmaputra are limited. So we try to make sure the effective utilization of the rivers which are there on the left bank rather than on the right bank. Understand? So left bank is completely Dhansiri, Koppili, Dihing, right? All of these rivers, they are completely present in India, but the volume is less. The volume which is coming from the north is more. Clear? Now I'll give you 1 minute to recall the names of the boundaries of Brahmaputra river. Take in the handout, you already have it. Just have a look. Right bank and left bank tributaries. And you have these two. Bangladesh, Padma river is there. Padma river is the confluence of Ganga and Brahmaputra. Together it is called as Padma. Okay? Ganga and Brahmaputra together it is called as Padma. Baki, just go through the tributaries. Now listen. See here. Drainage pattern. Drainage pattern is, how does a river look when you're looking from the aerial view? That is called as drainage pattern. In this, if it looks like a tree, it is called as dendritic. If it looks like hard rocks are there, it is called as terrils. And then rectangular pattern is when two rivers flow parallelly and join. That is called as rectangular pattern. Angular is whenever the rocks are hard and softer at another place, angular joinings will be there. For each of this, there are certain examples that you need to know. I'll tell you where to focus and where not to focus. Next is radial. Radial is majority of the rivers are originating at one place and they are moving away from that. Right? Annular is when the mountain is soft or the top area is soft. Instead of going in a straight line, they make an angular cut. See, instead of going in a straight line downward, they're turning right, they're turning left and then sinking in. That is called as annular. Centripetal means if you have a lake in the center, and the rivers come and join. Cable Lamjo. Right? So let's try to understand each of this. Radial. Let's say you have a plateau. Can I say the rivers will move outward. Instead of a plateau, imagine you have a plateau. On the plateau, there is a mountain. The river might spend its movement in, it will come down, it will move like this, it will come down, it will come down, move like this. But more or less, if the top is soft, they will make an angular turns. So the best example for this is Nilgiri. So the best example for this is right. So for this is Godavari, Ganga is the best example. Terrils, Central Highlands. Radial, Gujarat. Okay, Girnar and so. So first let me show you this. Gujarat. Look at this. Can you see the rivers are draining outward mostly? This is called as radial drainage. Other example that you can think of is Amarkantak Plateau. Amarkantak Plateau. This is Amarkantak. From here, one side it is Narmada. It is Narmada here. Mahanadi is draining this side and Son is draining on the other side. Amarkantak, right? Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh border. Achanak Mar, Amarkantak Biosphere Reserve. What animal do you get there? Flying squirrel, right? Flying squirrel, you'll get there. Very good. Where else you will get to see flying squirrels? Namdafa. Namdafa also you'll find. Namdafa flying squirrel. Is it critically endangered? Yes. First dendritic is Godavari, Ganga, Krishna. When it Singbom Plateau, Terrils. If the rocks are hard and the river will find its way, only a small stream will be there. Then you have rectangular pattern. It is there in Vindhyan regions. Vindhya, in the faults of Vindhya, you'll find them. Annular, I already told you, Pithoragarh and Nilgiri mountains. But this is very hard to find in India. Very minimal it is there. Still, if you have to give the example, it is Nilgiri mountains and Pithoragarh. Amarkantak Plateau, you know it. On the western side, Narmada. On the north, Son. On the east, Mahanadi. Then comes the short parallels, which are west flowing rivers. Not just Kerala. All the west flowing rivers, they are parallel to each other. Very short rivers. The length of these rivers is 30, 50, 60, 80 kilometers only. That is swift and fast flowing rivers on the western side. And these are parallel rivers. So let us mug them up. Let us mug these parallel rivers. The names of these parallel rivers in your atlas. In your handout also it is given. These names of the parallel rivers. Mandovi, Zohari. Okay. Are they not looking parallel? Mandovi, Zuari. Repeat after me. Mandovi, Zuari, Kali Nadi, Sharavati. See, this is the river on which the Jog Falls, India's highest waterfalls, Jog Falls in Karnataka is present, right? The highest waterfalls. Next, Netravati, Bharatpuza, Periyar, Pamba, Periyar and Pamba, Periyar Tiger Reserve and Pamba. You might have heard about the Ayappa Mala. So they have to cross through this Periyar Tiger Reserve and the Pamba River drains into this area, right? So the mythological stories also tell you a lot about Pamba. So Try to repeat again. Mandovi, Zuari, Kali Nadi, Sharavati, Netravati, Bharatpuza, Periyar, Pamba. These are the west flowing rivers, right? So one by one river, we'll look into their tributaries and come to Mahanadi. Origins happen on the eastern side of Amarkantak Plateau. So see, if this is Amarkantak Plateau. On one side, this is Narmada. In the north, Son River. And in the east, Mahanadi. Don't think that exactly on the plateau it is formed, but in and around the plateau. But the water basin mostly comes from this side. Right? So, Mahanadi. But before we go for Mahanadi, I want you to know the rivers which are actually present on the eastern side. One by one in the same order, whatever I write, you just need to know that. First, Subarnareka. Then Brahmini, Bhaitharni, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna. You will have the river Penneru, Kaveri. Right? So, Subarnareka, Brahmini, Bhaitharni, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Penneru, Kaveri. Right? Olive Ridley turtles. Suna hai? On which river? Bhaitharni, on the coastal areas of the Bhaitharni. Right? In Odisha. Crocodile National Park. On the delta area of this Baitarni, Bithar Kanika. Crocodile, saltwater crocodile national park. It is Bithar Kanika in Odisha. Satkosia, tiger reserve is on the Mahanadi. Right? Satkosia. Next, Godavari, Krishna. So Kolleru Lake is on which river? Which river? Godavari or Krishna? Godavari, not Krishna. Kolleru is a lake which is located on the river Godavari, not on Krishna. Right? Musi. Krishna. Nagarjun Sagar Dam, Krishna. Maneru Dam, Godavari. Hirakund, Mahanadi. So some major, Stanley Reservoir. Stanley, on which river? On Stanley Reservoir. Which river? Kaveri. Right? Krishna Raja Sagar. Pakka Kaveri. Okay. So I'll show you all of them. Come to Mahanadi. Look here. Repeat after me first. Ong. See, tributaries are little difficult for you. Ong. Look at this. Ong, Tel, Jonk, Sionath, Hasdev, Mand, Ib. These are Odia names, right? So first repeat after me the left bank tributaries of the river Mahanadi. Sionath, Hasdev, Mand and Ib. Sionath, Hasdev, Mand, Ib. These are the left bank tributaries. It origins on the eastern side of the Amarkantak Plateau, right? And the right bank tributaries are Ong, Jonk, Tel. Ong, Jonk, Tel. Ong, Jonk, Tel. Look here. This is your Chhattisgarh, right? This is where the Amarkantak Plateau, the southern part of the Amarkantak Plateau is there. Satkosia Tiger Reserve is located on this, right? Chilka Lake, Nalabana Bird Sanctuary. Why is Nalabana famous? Why is this Chilka? Because it is taken out and put out from Montrex record, right? Today, two are there. One is, tell me the states, then you'll answer by itself. Which state? Kaibul Lamjo and your brain is telling no Bharatpur, matlab kahin to suna hoga. Yes, it's true. It's true. One is in Rajasthan, other one is in Manipur. Chilka Lake was there, it was removed. Why? Because the Nalabana Bird Sanctuary and the Nalabana community, they have revived this Chilka. Chilka has dolphins. Remember, Chilka has dolphins. Gihir Mata Marine Sanctuary. This is what is? Gihir Mata is for olive ridley turtles. Okay? Bittar Kanika is for Crocodile National Park. Right? That Bittar Kanika is not there here, but it is for Crocodile National Park, which is also there here. Simlipal is in the north. Right? Simlipal National Park, Simlipal Biosphere Reserve is also there. Satkosia Tiger Reserve. See, why in the last 2 years this was in news for many number of times? Because certain tigers were lifted from this Madhya Pradesh and they are put into this Satkosia to translocate and increase the genetic diversity of these forests and the tigers so that they survive a lot. But sadly, both the tigers which were translocated, they were died because of the non-acclimatization of this region. So we were able to do successfully the cheetah project, but the tiger project translocation or relocation is becoming difficult for us. Tiger has to move on their own. Can you recall Ong Jonk Tel? Right bank tributaries, Sionath, Hasdev, Mand, Ib. Yes, Sionath, Hasdev, Mand, Ib source is this. Quickly come to Ganga. Ganga. Origin at Gangotri. Yamunotri is Yamuna. But before that, you need to know the Panchaprayag. Right? See, there are 4 major places which you need to know. That is Kedarnath, Badrinath, Yamunotri, Gangotri. This is also called as Chardham Yatra. This is also called as Chardham. Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath. Right? It is a dream of every religious person to visit here. Why? Because it is the lifeline for many of the rivers in the northern part of India. Right? So the Supreme Court has also cancelled one of the project which was sanctioned for a 4-lane to 6-lane highway on the Himalayas on the pretext that Himalayas are fragile and ecologically sensitive areas. That's why the projects are cancelled. Right? For mains context and so. Now come from Yamunotri, river Yamuna originates. From Gangotri, river Ganga originates, we call, but in reality, Ganga is called Ganga when Alagnanda and Bhagirath meets. Okay? This is your Alaknanda. Follow this path. This is your Alaknanda and this is your Bhagirath. When they both meet at Dev Prayag, we call this as river Ganga. Until then, Ganga is not called as Ganga. Ganga has different names. Right? We say that Ganga origins in Gangotri. Of course, the water to the source comes from the Gangotri glacier. But Ganga is called Ganga at Dev Prayag. We say that we have to write that Ganga origins at any of the place. We also call this Bhagirathi as one of the other name as Ganga. Now look at Alaknanda. Alaknanda has certain other tributaries coming and joining. One of the Chardham is Kedarnath. So from the Kedarnath, you have Mandakini. Right? When Mandakini and Alaknanda meet, that is Rudraprayag. Right? Mandakini, Alaknanda, Rudraprayag. Alaknanda and Bhagirath, Devprayag. Right? So keep this Alaknanda static. Alaknanda is a permanent river. Right? It is easy for you to remember. Alaknanda and Bhagirath is Ganga, Devprayag. Now there are some small rivers which will confuse you. That is, see, Dauli Ganga, Nandakini, Pindar. Dauli Ganga, Nandakini, Pindar. So wherever they meet, they have a confluence. And that confluence is given a name. Right? So an easy way to eliminate or at least to get to know is, are they associated with Lord Shiva? Are they associated with Lord Shiva or Vishnu? Vishnu Prayag means it's not Lord Vishnu. Basically, this entire, Ganga is there on whose head? Shiva. Right? You go to this Badrinath, Lord Shiva. Shiva Linga is carried, and 2 days before it is there in the news articles, the army has created a procession there. It is a regular phenomena for them. It's an auspicious thing to open up the Badrinath, Kedarnath, right? So this entire system is associated with Lord Shiva, right? But there is only one Vishnu. That Vishnu is Vishnu Prayag, where the Dauli Ganga meets Alaknanda, right? Alaknanda is always static. Say this is Alaknanda, Dauli Ganga, then you have Pindar, Nandakini, and other one is, okay, Dauli Ganga only. See, Panch Prayag says, you need to know the 5 names. Keep the Alaknanda static. One is Dauli Ganga, right? Other one is Pindar, then Nandakini. Dauli Ganga, it is Vishnu Prayag. Nandakini, Nanda Prayag. Pindar, Karna Prayag. Then these are little easy for you to understand, Mandakini and Bhagirath. देखो कभी भी इससे ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, ठीक है? Earlier these kind of questions used to be asked in SSC, but now the inclination is also going towards these sides, right? Last year, if you look into, they asked the questions on the ancient names of these rivers, ancient names, Askini, like that. So the Indus water, Saraswati is no longer there. It is a mythological river now. Now let's look into Ganga, tributaries of Ganga. So Ganga comes and it goes and drains into Bangladesh. So here, Ram Ganga, Gomti, Gagra, Gandak, Kosi. Okay? And then Mahananda. Majority of them are antecedent rivers. What do you mean by antecedent rivers? Antecedent rivers means those that are flowing against the slope. Right? Those that are flowing against the slope, called as antecedent. What is consequent? Those that are flowing in line of the slopes. Then you might be thinking, how is this antecedent rivers flowing against the slope? Against the slope means you have Himalayas, greater Himalayas are there. These rivers are present north of the greater Himalayas. Is it like this? So if this is greater Himalayas, this is river Ganga, it is climbing and then coming down. Huh? It doesn't climb. It actually, if you to see this through in a cross-sectional view, this river cuts the mountains and comes. It will be like this. See, antecedent means a river that flows against the slope. Let's say this is your Tibet. This is your Karakoram. Then this is your Ladakh. This is your Zanskar. This is your greater Himalayas. This is your lesser Himalayas. Then Shivaliks. Agreed? height wise. Then Shivaliks. So this is your northern plains. In fact, Tibet is 4. This is your northern plains, right? So in this northern plains, look here, a river which is originating, is it going like this and coming? So if a river is actually moving against the slope, that is called as antecedent rivers. Now, how does the river flow? The river flows like this. River do not climb up the mountain like that. Tell me, are the rivers older or this mountains older? Someone said mountains. Rivers are older than the mountains. Okay, rivers were there even before these mountains are formed. Especially Indus River and Brahmaputra River were there before the origin of this Himalayas. So what happened is, if you look into, the river actually cuts. Okay? The river cuts. This is how the river flows. It cuts across and then comes. Okay? It cuts across and then comes. It's not like that the river is simply rising above. It will simply cut whatever it comes in between. So let's say if you want to put a mountain, you put one more mountain. Wherever the river goes, it will make sure it will be at the same height and it will cut the mountain and come. So an antecedent river is a river which from here it is cutting across the mountains and coming onto the slopes, right? A consequent river is which is simply following the path of the slope. Don't you think इस river में बहुत ज़्यादा energy होना चाहिए, right? To fight against and come against the slope. So this river, since centuries, it is, as the mountains, see here, as the mountains are rising, the river is cutting. The river is cutting and coming. So your rivers are older than the mountains. Your mountains to nanna munna bachchas in geography. They are just born. Rivers were there long before. Tethys sediments, these rivers were there even before Indian Deccan Plateau got formed. They were consistently there. So these are called as antecedent rivers. Majority of the rivers are antecedent, right? So Ganga is also a antecedent river. Indus is also, Brahmaputra is also antecedent, right? The northern Himalayan belts are majorly antecedent, but look at this. This is Gangotri is present in the greater Himalayas. It is not present in the Tibet. It is present in the greater Himalayas. Now repeat after me. Ram Ganga, Gomti, Gagra, Gandak, Kosi, Mahananda. Mnemonic. राम जाने गोमती का घघरा गंदा कैसे हो गया. ठीक है, राम जाने गोमती का घघरा गंदा कैसे हो गया. Right? Yeah, you can make your own. It's up to you. राम गंगा गोमती घघरा गंदक कोसी 10-15 बार रिपीट करना, राइट? राम गंगा गोमती घघरा गंदक कोसी. राम गंगा गोमती घघरा गंदक कोसी. कहीं ना कहीं your brain in the examination will tell you this is the tributary. But I have a small homework for you. What are the major cities that are present on the river Ganga? Prayagraj is at the confluence of Allahabad. It is nothing but the Allahabad, where Yamuna goes and meets Ganga. This is become Prayagraj, which was earlier called as Allahabad, right? So right bank tributaries are Yamuna. Yamuna tributaries are Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken. But Ganga tributaries of the right bank are Yamuna, then Son, Yamuna and Son are the tributaries. Hooghly is a distributary, not a tributary. Tributary is something which comes and joins. Distributary is when the water goes out. So Hooghly is a distributary. Hooghly ka tributary hai Damodar. Right? Hooghly is a distributary. Can you recall? So Yamuna also, you already know, Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken, right? Quickly, let's go to Indus. I'll leave you 10 minutes. When it comes to Indus, you need to know the Indus Water Treaty also. See here, Indus Water Treaty. World Bank is the one which actually mediated between India and Pakistan. Why World Bank has to come? Simply because World Bank said, I'll give you funding. Because when the World Bank was set up, its promise was that I'll give funding to the developing countries for projects which are welfare in nature and a soft loans for long term. Means very cheaper. World Bank is a collection of how many organizations? What are they? IBRD? एक बार घर जाके देख लो, it's not 5, it's 3. 2 organizations are not completely part of it. So in that, developmental associations, whatever are there, they give funding for these projects, right? They give soft loans. Soft loans means you have to repay, but your repayment will be of hundreds of years later, right? Long term, very, very long term lease they'll give you. In the due process, it also gave loans for setting up of the projects on the river Indus. If India and Pakistan fights on together, the World Bank is the one which gave funding. It said, no, I'll come and mediate for you. What is the problem that you have? When the mediation started, it went on to say that if rivers Indus, Jhelum and China, these are given to Pakistan, and Ravi, Bias and Sutlej will be given to India. So look here, Indus, Jhelum, China. The top 3 rivers were given to Pakistan. It doesn't mean that we cannot use the water. We can use the water, but you cannot stop the flow of the water. So that the river should always keep on running. You can create projects on that running water, and those projects are called as run-off river projects. You're not supposed to stop the flow of the water. If you stop the flow of the water, then that becomes a problem. So the origin of this river comes from Bokarchu Glacier, which is located near the Mansarovar Lake itself. Mansarovar is also the place which is also origin for the Brahmaputra, Sutlej. In and around this Mansarovar Lake, these rivers originate. Mean the birthplace for Sutlej, the birthplace for Indus and Brahmaputra are all same on the Tibetan plateau. Just the radius is that one river is going on this side, other river is going on that side, other river so. So here they enter into India, and on the Karakoram range, here between Karakoram and Ladakh, this flows through and takes a turn. This is called as Panjanand. Panjanand is a collection of 5 rivers. Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Sutlej. In this you take out Indus. How many rivers are left? Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Sutlej, right? And the Jhelum. So all these 5 rivers together, they are called Panjanand. Now these Panjanand goes and meets again in Pakistan at Mithankot. Mithankot. It's not, this is your Mithankot. Mithankot. So it enters to India in Demchok. Demchok is a place. So come back, 5 major rivers. In this, it said these 3 rivers to Pakistan with 9 cubic centimeters of flow should be maintained, and then these 3 rivers permanently to India. So majority of these rivers goes through India only. Here we built some run-off river projects. Run-off river projects names are important. Okay? That is already given in your handout. What are the projects on each river? That is listed in your handout. In the page 1 itself, it is there. Right? Kishan Ganga run-off river project. Lake Wular is located in this part of the river. So here, Jhelum origins at Verinag. Chenab, Chandra. I told Chandratal. Chandratal, where is it located? Himachal, Spiti Valley, Kibber Wildlife Sanctuary. Did I not tell earlier? So Chandratal is one of the source of the river Chenab. And Bhaga, Chandra and Bhaga. Bhaga is also another river, which together they form in the Spiti Valley, and then they join this Chenab. And here the Chenab river origins, right? So Jhelum also origins in India. Indus origins in Bokarchu Glacier. So Mansarovar, nearby Mansarovar. Now that Indus Water Treaty is brokered, and finally we consider this as the world's best example for a peace deal when it comes to water treaty. After Operation Sindoor, we said indefinitely we are going to suspend this. Right? That means we will now be using this water. Right? And Indus is the lifeline for Pakistan. You stop Indus water, their agricultural economy will fumble down. Drastically it will fumble. Why? Because their entire Pakistan population, when you look into, it is located next to the Indus River itself. Right? 80% of the population of Pakistan is located next 50 to 70 kilometers right and left of this Indus. And Indus, when it drains into the southern region in the Baluchistan area, this is dry and little salinity increases here. The rate of evaporation is more. So try to understand the tributaries of Indus. Indus left bank tributaries are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Sutlej. Within that, easy way to remember is CJI is given to Pakistan. Right? So maybe a mnemonic, if it can help you, you can create, or you can create on your own. Easy way to remember: CJI, Chenab, Jhelum, Indus. This is given to Pakistan, and this is with India. Now that we have indefinitely suspended, that means we can build any number of projects of our own choice. And the right bank tributaries here, it is Shiok and Gilgit. Shiok and Gilgit are the right bank tributaries, right? So this is what origins you need to know about these rivers. See, first one by one, everything is given in your handout, just that you need to mug up. Jhelum River origins at Verinag. Verinag is a spring. Verinag in Kashmir itself, it is originated. Now, Baralachala in Spiti Valley, if you remember, I told you, it is a lake. Chandra, sorry, it is Chenab, yes. Chandra and Baga near Baralachala Pass, it is the Chandra and Baga together. Next, Bias also originates in India, right? This also originates in Kullu, Himachal Pradesh, Mandi, nearby Kullu, Himachal, right? Nearby that area only it originates. Then Bias Kund, it also originates in the Himachal Pradesh, Bias Kund, right? And Sutlej River origins in Tibet, right? So Sutlej enters to India from Shipkila. So the river drainage basins are based upon the major drainage basin, minor drainage basin, and medium drainage basin. Rivers can also be divided into east flowing rivers, west flowing rivers, right? So rivers can also be classified as rivers that are perennial in nature. They are also seasonal in nature. Majority of the rivers which are there in the Himalayas, they are perennial. Rivers which are there in southern part of India are seasonal, right? Himalayan rivers are consistently adding water. With the melting of the glaciers, the volume of the rivers is increasing but not decreasing. Remember this, with the melting of the glaciers, the volume of the rivers is increasing, not decreasing. But it's a short-term phenomena. It will increase for few years and after that the rivers perishes out. Right? Broadly, Ganga tributaries we have seen. Now let's recall the river Ganga tributaries. Ramganga, Gomti, Gagra, Gandak, Kosi, Mahananda. Left bank, Yamuna, Son, and you can also consider Damodar if they give market, yes, because distributary ka tributary hai, right? Then comes Yamuna ka origin, Yamunotri, right? One of the Char Dhams, and this Yamunotri, the tributaries are left, it is a tributary of Ganga and its tributaries are Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken. Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken. Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken. Crocodiles can be seen in Betwa. Rest of the area, it is Chambal. Gharials can be seen. Right? And when it comes to Ganga, I told you the Prayags, Panch Prayag, in that 4 major Chardhams, Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath. Now the rivers are Alaknanda, it is a permanent river. When Alaknanda meets Bhagirath, it is called as Dev Prayag Ganga, right? Yamuna meets Ganga at Prayagraj, Allahabad earlier. Now the Alaknanda, when the rivers such as Nandakini, Nanda Prayag, right? Pindar, Karuna Prayag. Dauli Ganga, Vishnu Prayag. And the last one, it is Mandakini, Rudra Prayag. So, mug up. Okay, mug up. You have to mug up. Draw. It is easy to draw. Simply remember this. Badrinath se Alaknanda aata hai, and then keep on joining. 1, 2. This is Badrinath. This is Mandakini. Okay, Badrinath se Bhagirath and Mandakini. Right? And keep on adding the rivers. The more the facts that you add, it will be easy. Abhi class khatam nahi hua, 5 minute. Okay? Two more rivers are there. We'll do and we'll wind it up. Very, very important. Okay? Krishna River. Krishna River is there. We'll do the Krishna. You want Godavari? See, Krishna, it is easy. Doni, Bhima, Dindi, Halya, Munneru, Penneru, right? And when it comes to Krishna, see here. This is Doni. This is Bhima. This is Dindi. Musi, everyone knows this. Munneru. यार अभी भी मूसी का जो सोर्स है ना, it is very fresh. Just about to enter into Hyderabad, it is fresh water. Once it enters into Hyderabad, you know the status of the water, right? You know that I am also part of the Musi river panel that was set up. So we are the ones who are cleaning that. So pilot basis, we already cleaned this Ramantapur lake. If you ever you go there, in that nano bubble technology we use, and then we clean them. Batkam also, wherever Hydra goes, behind the Hydra we are there. Simple, right? Hydra goes and clears. We bring the technology of bubble. So I am one of the patent owner for that. It's a 6 years hard work has finally yielding some kind of positivity. We thought of putting in, many times I told you, Musi, ek do machine, hundreds of machines we need to put, 6 to 10 to 15 feet of sludge is there. So the status of Musi is not just the status of Musi. If you go to major cities, it is the same problem. But we have to appreciate the Ahmedabad for cleaning the rivers and Sabarmati riverfront or Narmada riverfronts. They cleaned those rivers which are worse than Musi. The problem of Musi is that festivals. Not just Ganesh, a lot of festivals are there. Ganesh is a festival which is seen in Hyderabad, but across the Musi, there are literally hundreds of festivals. In 300 days, 100 days, Musi will have depositions in the name of festivals. Good thing, but festivals are to be celebrated. These festivals were there even before also, but Musi got polluted only in the last 60 years. Why? Because industries and the usage of POPs. So we have to ban POPs first. Oh, it's a very big thing. Mains time, I'll tell you as a case study sometime later. Krishna. See, it originates in Maharashtra, right? Mahabaleshwar, and at Nasik, it is Godavari. These in the north, little here itself, Godavari will be originating, and then it travels north, right? So this is Tunga and Bhadra, Tungabhadra, and this is Krishna. So this is called as Kritunga region. Krishna and Tungabhadra, right? Kritunga. It's not the restaurant that you get to see, but it is actually the name, the original name of this Kritunga region. If you read the history in detail, you'll get to know. The major kingdom that ruled here is Krishna Devaraya, Vijayanagara Empire, right? Hampi, that was their capital city. Which dynasty they belong to? Sangam, Saluva, Tuluva, Aravidu. Which one? Tuluva. Okay. Sangam, Saluva, Tuluva, Aravidu. These are the major dynasties of Krishna Devaraya time period, which is the Vijayanagara Empire. Vijayanagara Empire means not just Krishna Devaraya, it is Sangam, Saluva, Tuluva, right? Harihara and Bukkaraya are one of them, right? These are the feudal lords of the Golconda, right? From the feudal lords, they did not like it, then they opened up their own venture, right? So that becomes a kingdom, and Krishna river is there, it is a fertile land. Tungabhadra, Krishna, and they decided they wanted to set up their capital in the area which is inaccessible, which is fully covered with basalt, and Hampi is the best location where water is there, right? So Tunga and Bhadra together, Tungabhadra, this starts. This is Tunga, Bhadra, Tungabhadra comes and joins, right? Now there is a reservoir which is built here. I'll tell about that. Come to the left bank tributaries. Dhoni, repeat after me. Dhoni, Bhima, Dindi, Halia, Munneru, Musi. Dhoni, Bhima, Dindi, Halia, Munneru, and Musi. Yes. So right bank tributaries, there are too many. Panchganga, Doot Ganga, Ghat Prabha, Mal Prabha, Varda. Okay? So Panchganga, Doot Ganga, Ghat Prabha, Mal Prabha, like that, Varda. These are the right bank tributaries, right? So this Varda is an independent tributary. So naam yaad karna hai, Magab, you need to Magab, there is no alternative to that. One homework from my side is that just look onto the major cities that they are present on these rivers, because UPSC is interested in that, right? So source is in Maharashtra, right? Let us also look about Godavari. Before that, see here, I want you to remember Shivaji Sagar, Nagarjuna Sagar, right? Nagarjuna Sagar, it is located on the boundary lines between Andhra and Telangana. Andhra and Telangana, Krishna river acts as a boundary, right? Nagarjuna Sagar, Shivaji Sagar. Nagarjuna Sagar, Shivaji Sagar. I asked about Krishna Raja Sagar. This is river Kaveri. Okay? Kaveri river. This is where your Krishna Raja Sagar. It is not on the river Krishna, right? Then comes Stanley Reservoir, Metur Dam. These three dams are located on, yes. This Metur Dam is an issue between Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Why? Because this was given on the lease for 800 years by the erstwhile king who was there, right? So it is located in the territory of Kerala, but given as a lease to lease to Tamil Nadu. So what do is they generally would like to increase the height of the dam, which Kerala do not like it. Because if Tamil Nadu is keep on increasing the height of the dam, the storage of the water will be more, right? So, sorry, Kerala wants to increase and Tamil Nadu do not want it. Kerala wants to increase and Tamil Nadu do not want it. So what do is, Kerala keeps on increasing the height of the dam because they wanted to store the water and then give it. So Tamil Nadu do not want. So this metro dam is a conflict area between Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So look at Kaveri. It is also there in your notes. Just go through the tributaries once. Hemavati. Repeat after me. Hemavati, Shimsha, Arkavati. These are the major three left bank tributaries. Hemavati, Shimsha, and Arkavati. Rest of that are right bank tributaries, whether it is Lakshman Tirtha, Kabani, Sharavati. So, sorry, Sharavati is in the Jog Falls, Karnataka. It is Suvarnavati. Bhavani, Noel, Magab, you need to Magab. There is no other alternative. Don't get confused with the Amaravati of Andhra Pradesh. That is a bit different. This is Amaravati, river Amaravati. But I expect the questions on these, not on the tributaries of Kaveri, because बहुत बार पूछ लिया, scope थोड़ा कम है. तो ये this is important. And Krishna Rajasagar, next Metu Dam and Stanley Reservoir. So here, one more important aspect which is in news is regarding the golden mashir fish. Golden mashir fish. Are you aware of that? So it's a fish, golden mashir fish. This fish is located in Kaveri. Their population is decreasing. Remember the word golden mashir, M-A-S-H-E-E-R. It's a fish which is in use for very long. Golden mashir. Let me show you if it is there. Same, the name is same, golden mashir or humpback mashir fish. This is a fish which is, their population is decreasing in Kaveri. Why? Look here. How many dams are there on the river Kaveri? That's Talakaveri in Kerala. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15. But when you go to Tamil Nadu, so these dams are the reasons why the diversity of the rivers are getting down. So look at this. They don't let the water reach there. It's a good thing that in the lower riparian states the water is being. So the problem is here Bengaluru is located nearby this. It's not. Bengaluru is located nearby. So there is a pipeline that is led from here. Through pipeline, Bengaluru receives water from here. Right? Understood? So Kerala wants to raise the height of this so that they can store water. Kerala. No, Kerala also. See, it is a tri-state issue, not just Karnataka, Kerala. It's a tri-state issue, but the major issue is between Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Karnataka ka issue aaj kal aaya na, in the recent times. But the 800-old-year issue is there between Kerala and Tamil Nadu, right? So it wants to raise the height. It's not just a single dam. It's a collection of dams, not just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a collection of 12 dams. They are raising the height of these 12 dams. Usme the flow of the water is holded and then the water is stored. So here, Sivasamudram and the project, I'm not able to recall the name of the project. This extreme exclusive project is built to deal with the connections between Bengaluru. A pipeline is built. So that's why the city of Bengaluru is dependent on this river. So when Kaveri is there, my most possible predictions would be for this fish questions if they are asked, right? Golden mashir. Last river, that is your Godavari. River Godavari is associated with which god? Lord Rama. ठीक है? Lord Rama. क्योंकि many a number of times, if you remember this small tactics, it will be easy for you to eliminate, at least for it is easy for you to eliminate the Well, some or the other way it will be helpful for you to eliminate. If it is that is related with Lord Shiva, this is related with Lord Rama. Bhadrachalam suna hoga? Just a minute. Okay, I don't think it's there. Chalo, I'll tell the names of the tributaries. Please repeat. Dudna, Purna, Shabari, Munneru. Don't think that Munneru and this Munneru is a bit different. Okay? You can also open your atlas. The map will be there. Indravati, Varda, Penaganga. These are the left bank tributaries. See, Indravati tributary, the tributary of Indravati is Penaganga, Venganga, and Varda are the tributaries of Indravati. You open your atlas, you'll get to see there. It is a left bank tributary, Indravati. It origins in the basins of the Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra. From there, it has three rivers joining them: Venganga, Varda, Pranahita. Okay? Three major rivers: Venganga, Varda, and Pranahita. Have you heard of the stories of Shabari? Shabari giving devotee of Lord Rama when Shabari offered her fruit, which is eaten by Shabari, and then so Shabari, when you remember, Shabari is also tributary of the river Godavari. It should be there. I'll show you. Okay. Yes. See here. Dudna, Purna. This is Indravati. Pranahita, Varda, Penaganga, and Venganga are tributaries. Okay? They are tributaries of Pranahita. Then Shabari, Sileru. Shabari and Sileru. Right bank tributaries are Manjira and Maner. So this Maner has three dams: Upper Maner, Mid Maner, and Lower Maner. Right? Maner has three dams. Okay. This, I think, would be a better diagram. Just have a look here. Origins in same Nasik. Mahabaleshwar is Krishna, Nasik is Godavari. Origins are same. So repeat: Dudna, Purna, Pranahita, Indravati, Shabari, Sileru. So whatever the map that is given in your atlas, that is permanent. These are generated in a different way, so it's not important. But see here, Indravati is a separate tributary and Pranahita is a separate tributary. The tributaries of Pranahita are Venganga, Varda, and the Penaganga. So these are not the direct tributaries. These are together making up the river Pranahita. Right? Chevelle suna hai? Chevella. It is this river that gives drainage to that. So repeat: Dudna, Purna, Pranahita, Indravati, Shabari, Sileru. Right bank tributaries: Manjira, Maneru. Reservoirs that are built are one: Nizam Sagar. Krishnaraja Sagar, Kaveri. Hussain Sagar, Krishna. Yeah, Tangman. Right? And the Stanley Reservoir, Meteor Dam. Yes. So like that, dams are also important. Please, the handout that is given, now go through it, mug it as many number of times. This is what is mapping for you. Right? So mostly the same points will be there in current affairs. There is one current affairs article that is there, Lipule. Lipule is a pass between India and Nepal. That is where the entry will be there. So Lipule is there in your handout. Just go through the handout. Don't try to mug up each and everything that is there in the handout. Just mapping should be handled through elimination. Some basics. Like I told you, river Godavari is related to Lord Rama. River Ganga is related to Lord Shiva. River Krishna is also mostly related to Lord Shiva, not Lord Krishna. Okay? So it is Mahabaleshwar, even if you look into Nasik and the Krishna Devaraya, they used to play to Lord the Shiva, it is Shivite temples, right? Mostly you need to eliminate through that manner. And sun temples are there. Some sun temples in history are important. Konark sun temple is there. Arsavalli sun temple is there, right? There are a couple of temples only for Brahma. You need to remember these exceptional aspects. And whenever examiner makes questions, he'll make sure they are given in such a way that you can eliminate, right? So soon you'll be called for a mapping test. A full length test will be there on mapping. Take your time, 3-4 days, prepare well, and then mapping test liko and her Sunday test hota hai. Don't worry about the score. Just do all the mistakes, whatever you wanted to do in the test series, but don't do in the main exam. So we'll end here and we'll continue. Tonight. PYQs will be there. The team will be doing it, and apart from that, marathon sessions will be there. Whoever is interested would like to attend, you can attend in the first weeks of May. In one single day, would like to end the entire subject that is important for the exam. So you can also join us. Thank you.